Finding a home at FightCon for the weekend with an all-star lineup of prospects live from the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake City. This is Fierce Fighting Championship 43, presented by R&R Barbecue. Hi everyone, Blake O'Rulian alongside my broadcast partners Eric Iman, Jason Laporte, and fellas, August was an incredible show, followed up beautifully this evening with FightCon.
Stacked card tonight, I'm super excited.
Should be a good one. Main event, Ruben Roundstone, Mike Jones. And if you're doing the math at home, you are correct. Eric, up 2 weight classes for the former middleweight king and Mike Jones to make his heavyweight debut.
Yeah, Mike's a very durable guy. Coming up in weight, I definitely think he's going to have speed and some experience, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Ruben's really tough, and Ruben has some cardio, so we're going to see what's going to happen.
Chris Chu, Josiah Simpson, co-main event. Jason, 2 of the toughest, most durable guys that we have seen in recent years, and if either of them can sequence together a couple of wins, we got a new problem out of the Beehive State.
Yeah, we could have a big problem if either one of those guys win. I'm really excited about that fight. It's going to be a banger.
There are so much talent throughout the entirety of this card, from top to bottom, amateurs and pros. We got some of their highlights queued up. Let's get you primed for Fierce FC 43.
Where the real middleweights at, huh?
He's fun to watch fight, isn't he?
One of the best we've ever seen in the history of Fierce Fighting Championship.
What a summer for the Park City Fighter.
The year my coach October, I'm ready to get back in here.
Who's the Utah boogeyman now,
Just a little bit late.
Knew how tough he was.
It's just brute strength by T. Vigil's dominant performance.
Changes the course of his career, 2 in a row.
Boogeyman
Just a tad bit.
Boogeyman out!
Cannot wait for this one. Fierce Fighting Championship 43 live from FightCon, a massive event going down the entirety of this weekend in Salt Lake City. Fans have been filing in for the entirety of the day, seeing meet and greets, jiu-jitsu tournaments, wrestling tournaments. Jason, should be a fun weekend.
I'm really excited. This is pretty cool that they're doing this downtown in Salt Lake City to have this type of event down here.
Eric, you trained and obviously fought for so many years. Is this something that you think would have been fun to compete on, whether it be a Fierce show or just be at the convention?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And you get to see a lot of different styles, a lot of different ideologies fighting-wise. I actually fought at some very similar events twice. And it's cool to be back. It's like coming home.
Can I be completely honest with you? One of my favorite things about having Eric Iman in the booth with us is that he always has a story. He always has some experience, something that he's done that makes him so valuable to the broadcast.
He's a car guy.
So I fought Eti Palu in an event just like this, and it was a barn burner. It was a barn burner. I had my face fractured and had 28 stitches in that fight.
Fellas, should be an incredible night. Mike Jones, Ruben Roundstone, a couple of the names that we haven't been able to talk about. David Kim, Donnie Wegner. The big question with David Kim is tonight a must-win for him?
I think it is. I kind of think it is. He's coming off of a huge loss. I know he was pumped up for that fight. This is a chance for him to kind of rebound and put his name back at the top of the list.
Anytime you're coming off of a loss, you want to rebound, you want to look good, you want to show what you've been doing in the gym. A loss is a very hard thing for a fighter. It's very personal. So I would guess that he's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder and want to get it done.
Another massive one, Nate Ayers, Chris Ventura. That one is a #1 contender spot. The winner of that will be up in line next for the featherweight title. 2 massive names who have won 2 straight.
Yeah, that's one that I had marked on my list as soon as I knew that fight was getting made, and it got made. That was one that I highlighted. That could be fight of the night. 2 top up-and-coming I believe it's at a catchweight fight, but 2 top up-and-coming fighters right now in the state of Utah. Banger fight.
I have had the pleasure to do a little bit of sparring, moving around with Chris, and he's a stud. Ayers has proven that he should be here as well. I'm very excited, both from good camps. That's going to be the one that's not talked about enough that needs to be watched.
No doubt about it. Should be good. Julian Ruiz back against the wall for him as well. He's dropped 2 in a row.
Yeah, he's another one we talked about him a lot before he dropped those last 2. Can he get his name back in there in the mix as one of the top guys in the state of Utah?
Well, and Julian's tough and durable, and he's got the skills, so he's going to definitely want to get back in the win column, get on the right side of it.
And he's had 2 tough losses, with Contender Series loss. I believe it was a short
PFL.
notice. PFL.
Yeah.
I believe it was short notice. He had to take that fight. And then his last fight, that was a back-and-forth fight that he could have won.
He scored 2 knockdowns.
He scored 2 knockdowns. He was close to winning that fight. Good back and forth. So I think he's learned a lot of lessons. I think he'll rebound tonight.
One thing that we will say is, as we have on our graphic, there is a prelim and a main card. We are going to be running through the entirety of it. There should be no massive break other than this one at the top. I'm actually looking for Jackson Hoops, have no idea where he is at. That all being said, is there any specific singular name that you're looking forward to on the entirety of the card? We've already talked about a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, that Ventura and Ayers, those two right there, they just stand out to me. Those two, I'm super excited about that fight. Two top up-and-coming guys. Those two names right there stick out to me.
I am very excited for the Chu Simpson fight. After seeing Simpson fight Alden, Alden's very, very tough. I hear there's a little bit of criticism because I felt that Simpson might have dropped the first round, but he was very patient, came back, showed great skill. I'm very excited for that, and I'm always excited to see Chris fight, Ayers fight. I mean, it's going to be explosive, and you're not sure, right? It could end at any time.
Well, and Josiah Simpson, we talked about it before we turned on the lights. One of the best performances of the entire year, right up there with the fight of the year against Alden Ashcraft, which we were all on the call for. How many more does he need in order to really become and cement himself as one of the faces of Utah MMA?
I mean, 1-2 more fights, and his name's right up there in the middleweight division. I mean, he's got all the tools. He's good on the ground. He hasn't even shown. He talked about it on the podcast. He hasn't even shown his wrestling. He's shown that he's durable. He's shown that he can strike. We haven't seen his wrestling, but that's his background. That's where he started at, was wrestling.
And he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. So he's got a whole nother facet that we haven't gotten to see yet. So like you said, we know he's tough on the feet. He's got the credentials for the ground. I think he wins this fight and it propels him because Chu's very durable and Chu's tough. So whoever wins this fight, they're going up.
Yeah, no, it absolutely should be a good one. Let me ask you this. How much, Jason, we talked about a little bit at the scene set, but the Mike Jones heavyweight situation, what do you make of that? Obviously, it's because he was having a bunch of different opponents and trying to have someone to just stick for this evening. How intrigued are you by seeing him up 2 weight classes?
I'm really intrigued because if you saw in the weight class, Roundstone is not a small heavyweight. He's a big dude. He is a big guy, and will Jones be able to handle that strength? If Roundstone's able to get a hold of him, we've already seen his jiu-jitsu. Like, he's very good on the ground. He dropped one of the best post-fight promos in Fierce Fighting Championship history. Like, what is Mike Jones going to be able to do if Roundstone gets a hold of him?
I think Jones is a more technical guy, but Roundstone has shown some skill on the ground. There's the weight differential. I think Jones needs to stay on the outside, pick his shots. If he does take Roundstone down, he's got to be on top. He does not want to be under Roundstone because I think there was, a 46 pound difference. So, you don't want to be under him. So Jones is going to have to use footwork. He's going to have to use angle, stay outside, and really pick his shots. Who knows?
A big thing about that, too, is the guys that Mike Jones trains with. I think one of the reasons that he's so comfortable with doing this is Andrew Boquette, a guy who we share the booth with very often, is someone who he trains with day in and day out and does hard sparring with. So maybe there is a little bit of a confidence lift because of that.
Oh, I'm sure he's confident. I mean, Andrew talked about it on the last broadcast with him. I'm sure he's full of confidence after spending some rounds with him.
Well, and Andrew has a wrestling pedigree. Jones has had somebody that heavy on him, right? So that definitely helps. Jones is a veteran. He's no fool. He knows what he's doing, and I understand when you're trying to get ready for a fight and you're continuously getting ready. You feel like you're training for free. You just want to get in and get it done. So, hats off to Roundstone for taking the fight.
Pro fight number 20 for Mike Jones. Again, he has been a face of this sport and also been very successful in BKFC. He has been so relaxed, so excited for this matchup. Same can be said about Ruben Roundstone. Was talking to him just a few minutes ago and mentioned how much he couldn't wait to put on a show for this Salt Lake crowd. They are most definitely primed to do so. And inside of the cage, we got a man in a blue suit. It's Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, for those of you tuning into the pay-per-view and for those of you in attendance here at the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, Utah, welcome to Fierce Fighting Championship. Tonight's event is sanctioned by the Pete Suazo Utah Athletic Commission with Executive Director Scott Bowler in attendance. Dr. Cabot Murdoch is also cage-side this evening, along with timekeeper Covey King. The judges for the evening are Stephen Verriger, Dennis McMahon, and Nathan Burbank. And the referees in charge when the fights begin will be Tyler Tomlinson and Dave Selyestad. We are moments away from our first fight of the evening, but at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor our country with the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome an extremely talented vocalist, Lonnie Hansen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Make some noise for Lonnie Hansen. We are now ready for what you all came here to see. 22 mixed martial artists, 11 total fights, including one title fight for one Fierce Fighting Championship evening. So everybody here at the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, Utah, let the fighters in the back know that you are here. Put your hands together and make some noise! Our first fight of the evening is brought to you by Pat's Media Productions, the official pay-per-view and media production of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our first two fighters, Austin Dew and then Ivan Cervantes, to the ring.
All right, nearly a year away, but setting up his sophomore showing is Austin Dew. Jason, a lot of lessons learned in the debut loss as he seems to have recalibrated for this return.
Yeah, recalibrate is what he did. I know he took a lot of time off and worked on his striking for this camp. The wrestling has always been there. The jiu-jitsu has always been there, so I think we're going to see an improved striking performance tonight from Austin Dew.
Austin Dew, coming off of that loss in his debut in November of last year, told me that he had an absolute blast and wanted to get in there immediately, but some time has come through. We will see where the cracks have been filled. Pedro Sierra alongside Trey McCoy. Not a bad corner to have. Sierra MMA been pretty successful so far this year.
Yeah, Sierra's very technical, very good jiu-jitsu. We'll be excited to see how his striking's improved. You always get better in between fights, not when you're trying to get ready for fights. So.
About 3.5 years under the helm of Pedro Sierra and company over in Sandy, Utah. He will look for that first victory. Wanted to take a fight, Jason, since he was 15 years old after consuming a whole lot of UFC content. So this is something that he's dreamt of for a very long time.
Oh, yeah, he's been talking about. I remember him first coming and hitting the mats over at Sierra. It's something that he talked about from day one, that this kid wanted to get in the cage and fight.
Backed by some wrestling, competed as a junior in high school, now a jiu-jitsu blue belt. Landed a couple of takedowns in November of last year. an abundance of pressure always sets him up for efficient ground and pound as well. We saw that a lot in the debut. He is so strong. We talked about that a ton in his debut.
Oh, yeah, he's a powerhouse, man. He's got good takedowns, great submissions, and he's a problem if he gets on top of you.
Austin Dew, 29-year-old, out of Sandy, Utah, enters in second walk, first time in 2025. All right, debut time for Ivan Cervantes. Eric, a fresh face to Fierce, but been in the room on and off for half a decade at this point with the Pitt SLC.
It's a great school. Having some time in the gym, eventually you have to, if you start being the best at the gym, you got to do this, right? That's usually the progression. So be interesting to see what he looks like, how he's been in the gym, how he's been performing. We're going to find out tonight. He doesn't have that first fight experience yet, and sometimes being in the lights and being in front of a crowd is much, much different.
Yeah, he's won a couple of jiu-jitsu tournaments already this year in February and March, Jason. 4-1 in total, 3 wins by submission, so certainly grappling a strong suit for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this could turn into a grappling match, and we say that, and it's going to be a striking match.
Says he hasn't done a whole lot of studying on Austin and trusts his own training, specifically his grappling, which could give him the nod. He is the first of 4 out of the Pitt SLC. They are the busiest gym this evening. Training on and off for 5 years. So like you mentioned, Eric, very, very busy in the room, but now gets the opportunity to test it. All right, we go to welterweight for our first at FightCon. Cervantes, 1 year older and 1 inch taller, all clear on the commission scale as both bid for their first amateur wins. Ready to get this one going? We got Jackson.
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the amateur welterweight division. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 170 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Sierra MMA, hailing from Ogden, Utah, Austin Dew. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of the Pitt SLC, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah, Ivan Cervantes. When the fight begins, the referee in charge, Tyler Thomas.
Bout 1. Round 1 powered by Pats Media, the official pay-per-view and media partner of Fierce FC. Cervantes in the black. Austin Dew steps inside in the gray. Quick action to a grappling match we go. Jason, the forecast might have been a little bit off.
Yeah, might have been a little off.
Cervantes started with some good straight punches, and he didn't look super turned up for the fight. He looked very calm.
Quick hook for Dew. Hits air, but immediately trying to get back to a single leg position.
I'd like to see Dew step back and pull that leg.
Cervantes, great takedown defense and making Dew pay for it.
So Cervantes with the wide legs, it's going to make Dew work a lot harder for the takedown. Whereas legs are together now, if Dew drops and he can hook both legs, he'd have a lot better opportunity to take him down.
We talked about it a lot during the walkout, but Austin Dew facing more so a striker in Marco Ramirez last year. This time, obviously, someone who can match the grappling a little bit more. Some fun phone booth exchange, partially landing on both sides of the corner.
think Cervantes would be better served trying to keep Dew on the outside. Dew wants to be right in his chin.
Big overhand right. Closes in distance for Austin Dew, trying to get back to where he's been wanting to take this fight for the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, in his first fight, we've seen him get takedowns in this position. We're not seeing it tonight. Cervantes, great takedown defense so far.
I like what Cervantes is doing there. He's hooking his chin, pulling his head up, because if his head's pointed up, it's going to be much harder to take him down.
Dew stays stubborn. Cervantes responds with the knee up the gut.
Nice knee to the body by Cervantes.
Good reversal.
And Dew's got a swollen under his left eye. Nice little mouse under his left eye. Nice head kick from Dew. Didn't see that coming.
I did not see that coming either.
Ten ticks to go as we will see stools in this first bout at FightCon. Interesting round one. Austin Dew really being an aggressor right now, Jason.
Yeah, he looked good on his feet. Good movement. Cervantes, great takedown defense. Competitive first round.
Dew's breathing a little bit heavy. Sometimes especially when you're newer to the fight game, obviously, like what I would do is I'd let him ride me against the cage, because if I can keep him up, they're using a lot more energy trying to pin me to the cage or take me down. I'm wondering if that's the strategy here.
Yeah, that could be the strategy. He does breathe pretty hard, but I've seen him train in the training room. I don't think he's going to gas.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily thinking he's gassing or anything like that, but if you see him, he's taking some deep breaths.
Oh, for sure.
If we get into the third and he's continually pushing that way, you may see something change.
And he's not a small guy. He's carrying a lot of muscle.
He's got a lot of muscle.
Muscle takes oxygen.
Cervantes 1.5 pounds lighter than Austin Dew. Seems fresh as he jumps off the stool. Ramsey Nijum, Jordan Gonzalez accompanying him in the corner, fighting in his backyard. Trains just down the road at the Pit SLC. Top of round two, presented by Pat's Media, our incredible media and pay-per-view sponsor. Do such a great job, show after show, making improvements every time we turn on the lights here at Fierce Fighting Championship.
Cervantes is catching Dew coming in.
Some stiff leg kicks answered back on the other side by Austin.
Austin is not afraid to get into a firefight. We saw this in his first fight. He'll bang with you.
Some good exchanges by Cervantes being long. Dew getting on the inside and throwing some hooks. There's that chin pick. Just trying to keep his head up.
Smart.
Yeah, very. I'd like to see his legs a little bit wider.
Dew almost got his hands clasped, and now he's got his hands clasped. Nice takedown defense. Cervantes staying heavy.
Finally, we'll get a dump is Austin Dew. 2 minutes to go, round two.
Yeah, Cervantes should have probably tried to fish in, get an underhook right there.
No, he's heard somebody throw elbows. Cannot throw elbows in the amateur ranks.
Dew also right over by his corner as you see Pedro Sierra and Trey McCoy over at about 1 o'clock on your screen.
Yeah, very smart by Dew, getting him over to his corner so he can hear his coaches. The problem is Cervantes can't get up with that close guard. He's going to have to open the guard. He needs to get his back against the cage. He needs to start trying to either work to the top, because he's also compressed here. He's not going to be able to get a submission very easily.
Yeah, right now he's just kind of holding on and avoiding any real damage from Austin. But right in the corner.
Which is not a winning strategy.
Now Austin just smothering Cervantes in the corner there.
Well, and here it's smart. Austin's not burning a bunch of energy, right? He's holding him down. He's winning the fight.
Most certainly an improvement from the first frame for Austin Dew as he continues to pile up control time.
Cervantes staying real active, though, from the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience, though, the top opponent is going to be getting the points here regardless of how much the bottom one's hitting. So Cervantes is hitting and he's being busy, but they typically give ring control more credit.
And like you said, he's got to open up that guard. He just did.
And the effectiveness of it, too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if there's some like real damage
Sure.
here from Cervantes, they may give him some points for that, but this isn't going to win the fight for him.
A great control, though. He's not letting Do land any damage, really, from the top.
Yeah,
and
but
he's been here for 2 minutes.
the control's what's keeping him on his back, too. He is controlling very well, but he's controlling so well, he's not opening up to be able to get up.
Third and final upcoming. Austin Deuce, solid second round showing for him. As we will see if judges' scorecards will be hot for the first time. 3 minutes to decide this one. But Austin Deuce really solid in the second round.
Yeah, he looked good. Great takedown. Finally ended up getting the takedown in that second round.
Yeah, that mouse and that cut could be a problem. We'll see. Cervantes really should come out straight down the pipe right at that eye.
And I think that eye got cut because as Deuce coming in, he's dipping his head in the takedown, and Cervantes has been hitting him with a little short uppercut as he's coming in. I think that's what caused that cut and swelling.
Probably better to be underneath the eye than above the eye, though, right? Is that?
Absolutely. You don't want the blood in it.
Austin Deuce, solid first round, even a better second round. Again, trying to get his first notch in the win column. Fought in November of last year against Marco Ramirez, was TKO'd. Ivan Cervantes, his first matchup inside of a locked cage. Minutes 6 through 9 are upon us. Tyler Tomlinson, ready to say start.
If I'm Cervantes, I'm going right at him. I'm down 2 rounds.
Nice straight punches, and Deuce just
Couple
caught
of
it.
clocks on the chin as Cervantes goes down.
Deuce is not afraid of those firefights. He will stand and bang with you, and he did.
We hear immediately over in the corner of Pedro Sierra to stay on top. A prime position to ride this one out. What an exchange and what a land by Austin Deuce.
Yeah, he caught him clean, and now he's passing.
Yeah, Cervantes' chin was in the air, and dude just went right over the top. His hands were kind of chest level.
And
he's thrown that at the top of almost every round, though.
yeah, he has.
Well, and, look at Dew. He's going to hit you, and it's going to hurt. There isn't a question.
Yeah. Usually these bigger guys like that, you don't like to see him get into those firefights like that, but Deuce is not afraid to exchange.
Whole lot of muscle mass on him. Austin Deuce, a athlete growing up.
Cervantes looks like he's trying to get that right arm of Deuce across his body, and he let it go.
Again, Cervantes' backdrop is in wrestling as well as jiu-jitsu. 3 submissions throughout the course of his jiu-jitsu competition, 75% finish rate for him.
When I heard Ramsey tell him, get to the feet, you need to open up. Yeah, solid advice from Ramsey to Cervantes. Push the head, try to get your hips back, create some space, get back to your feet.
Now, this round, Cervantes is actually working. He's got that guard open this round. We didn't see that in the second round.
I would have liked to see him do that in the second round because, essentially he was pinned the whole second round. Couldn't get away.
Yeah, it's giving him a better opportunity. Well, now he went back to close guard again. You're not going to be able to push him away with the closed guard like that.
No. Yeah, he's basically trapping him to him while he's trying to shove the head down.
Oh, there we go. We saw him fishing for it, and there it is. Nope, Deuce privy to it.
Dude's working to get around him.
Both guys snail across the cage as Deuce looks to get to a front headlock spot. Seems to have lost his position as Cervantes now finds his way to the aggressive position. 35 seconds to go, round 3.
I would have liked to see Dew let go of that front lock, that front headlock, and stand up.
Yeah, the corner was calling for Dew to stand up, and he didn't. Not sure why he turtled. He's going to have to.
Taking a copious level of shots, but Dew gets himself back upright.
And that was big.
Well, from the skill set we saw, that was the smart thing to do, right? Yeah, he took some shots, but he's back in a dominant position.
Very interesting. Cervantes very active from the bottom, always throwing punches. Dew not landing a lot of damage. Just a lot of control. I mean, it's all been Cervantes in those positions like that. Very interesting.
The question is, too little, too late.
Yeah. Again, second round would have been his opportunity to open that guard, try to get back to his feet.
And the knockdown big in that third round.
Yeah.
That's going to be the difference in the third round. Yep.
Over to Ivan Cervantes. Seemed to figure it all out late in that third and final, but Austin Dew, a solid showing after nearly a year away. Hands are up in the air, trying to get as much oxygen back in those lungs. A hard-fought battle, especially when you carry that much muscle, Jason.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough for a big guy like that carries that much muscle mass and moves like he was moving. He was light on his feet. He's bouncing around.
I like that Cervantes was still going to the end, though. There was no quit. He kept going. He kept trying to do damage. So, good look.
Very calm, cool, and collective was Cervantes. Like, he didn't seem rattled at any point. Got knocked down, stayed composed, fought his way back up. He looks like the fresher fighter right now. I mean, if optics are telling you anything, Cervantes looks like the fresher fighter.
Solid first time inside that fierce cage for Ivan Cervantes. Again, the biggest moment for him, those ground and pound shots peppered in throughout the entirety of those final 60 seconds. We will see how much that sways the Pete Suazo Utah Athletic Commission. Again, the Pitt SLC will be a very busy gym this evening. Austin Dew has a teammate as well in Nate Ayers facing opposite Chris Ventura. That will be for a number one contender spot. Should be a good one live at FightCon. Still trying to catch his breath and a whole lot of leakage from that cut, but Austin Dew stayed valiant throughout the entirety of it, Eric.
You know, when I won, I always felt like I was more out of breath after I won than I ever was during the fight. It was the most odd thing to me. Jason would come up and try to interview me. I'd be blowing my lungs out, and I won. And I wasn't tired through the whole fight. It makes no sense.
I'm over here trying to get you to do the Ric Flair promo.
Woo!
All right, looks as though fighters are wrangled. Tyler Tomlinson checking his P's and Q's alongside Hoops. Still a little bit of deliberation. We might see some scattering.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. It's not an easy fight to score. Not an easy fight to score at all.
I'm interested in seeing what they are. Typically when it's that long.
All right, we got it with Hoops.
Bears fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Dennis McMahon scores this contest 29-28. Dew. Nathan Burbank scores this contest 29-28. Cervantes. And Judge Stephen Farragher scores this contest 29-28. Declaring the winner by split decision, Ivan Cervantes.
Ivan Cervantes comes away with the victory.
Interesting. Really interesting. I'm telling you that. I'm looking over at Zach Partridge, and he just said, wow.
Got the tap. Drake Anderton headed home with some hardware.
She was smiling while she was smashing her. Did I see Hannah Silva motion that she wanted a belt?
Micaiah August, debut successful. What a win for the prize fighter.
Amazing. How about that, huh?
Let's go! Away with the victory. That is now 1-0 for him as Tafu Mamea makes his debut next alongside Dennis Bialy.
Fans, our next fight of the evening is brought to you by Cage Punch, the official cleaning solution of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our next 2 fighters, Tafu Mamea and then Dennis Bialy to the cage.
Always intriguing when there's a new name out of Las Vegas. Here is Tafu Ili Mamea. Eric, he's been on and off for a year and a half, but not a bad spot in Syndicate to call home.
Lot of killers in that room. Lot of guys, lot of high-level guys. So you have to think that this gentleman is going to be very prepared.
I mean, Jason comes out of one of the top-performing gyms. Nasir Davis, Ole Michov, Daniel Keepers with big victories at Fierce recently. They are 11-2 over the course of their time in the last 2 years at Fierce Fighting Championship.
Anytime you see that Syndicate name under that banner, you know they're going to bring it, and they usually come away with the victory.
Tafu Mamea to make his debut. Feels a firefight could be fun alongside a striker like Dennis Bialy. He refers to himself as more of a grappler, but feels like MMA is something that he can pursue 100%. Something you got to do if you really want to make your mark in this sport at this point.
You got to take your first step into the cage, see what you can get done, right? You always think that a firefight sounds fun, and I've been in a lot of them, and it can be fun until afterwards.
Tafu Mamea set to square off alongside Dennis Bialy out of Las Vegas, Nevada. We will lay out for the Pit SLC fighter. All right, looking to copy and paste the performance he had in his debut as Dennis Bialy. Jason, it was his stellar stand-up and formidable grappling defense that dashed a win in his record book last August.
The Pit SLC's got a name to watch out for in Bialy. This kid's very well-rounded, great striking, like you said, great grappling defense. This is an exciting matchup.
And Eric, not only gifted but tough. He snapped his finger in the second round of the debut, but kept coming forward and striking. Impressively went for a full 9 minutes in the debut on just 11 days' notice.
Yeah, you can't teach grit, and you see grit in the training room, right? In the training room, you're typically set up to get beat up the whole time, so you know what to look for, and it just shows that he's well prepared.
Dennis Bialy told me a story of a friend being assaulted in a bar. Dennis, prior to any training, put the guy in a guillotine and left him sleeping on the floor. That is what got the wheels turning for what he's about to do now for the second time ever. Has plenty of jiu-jitsu reps alongside his high-level striking. Let's look at the intangibles. 13 years senior is Bialy at 33. He also holds the edge in height. Both made weight last night with a 1-pound separation. Sophomore slate for the Salt Lake fighter. Mamea's debut commences right now.
This fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the amateur welterweight division. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut, he stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 168.5 pounds. Fighting out of Syndicate MMA, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of American Samoa, Tafu Ili Mamea. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win and 0 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed in at 169.5 pounds. Fighting out of the Pit SLC and Combat Fitness, hailing from Tver, Russia, Dennis Bialy. When the fight begins, the referee in charge, Tyler Tomlinson.
Tyler Tomlinson, another assignment for him out of 6 this evening. Will also handle Mike Jones and Ruben Roundstone in our main event. First 3 minutes of this one brought to you by Cage Punch, the official cleaning solution of Fierce FC. Snappy striking early on by the Las Vegas fighter, Eric.
Mamea looks very crisp. That jab is very sharp. His kicks are really sharp. There's a switch kick right to the head. Good job of Bialy for avoiding.
Did I say 20 years old?
20. Born October 23rd, 2004. Birthday coming up in just about 2.5 weeks.
He wants a birthday win, I would guess.
Doesn't look like a debut fighter right now.
He does not.
High level, but cracked on the chin by Bialy. A pinpointed shot by him.
And Bialy's on the neck.
Turn the tides quick, fellas.
That was a good catch by Bialy in a straight. That was just great timing.
Bialy now securely on the back. Mamea cool and composed. Mamea was really starting to get into a flow state.
He did seem like it. Bialy looked like he was timing that.
Yeah, Bialy was waiting for that kick. He threw the teep just before that too, so.
Bialy been training for about 2 years at this point. Looks like a lot more, especially when you scout the striking and the grappling posed, as we see right now. Just passing the halfway point of round number 1. Quick scramble by the 2 as Bialy tries to find his way back up top.
Impressive from Mamea to get up from that.
Hell of a scramble.
Still so much pop on the shots of Mamea. Just missed the mark by Bialy with that up kick.
It almost looked like an axe kick.
It's impressive.
Hard leg kicks from Bialy.
Again, Bialy's first fight since August of last year. Made his debut on 11 days' notice alongside Dave Sorensen. So impressive in that matchup. Following it up well as we close out round number 1.
I hear Mamea's coach tell him keep the center. It's good advice. That was pretty slick. He threw that little, almost a question mark kick to the leg and then followed it up with the hand.
Clap to the midsection. Matched by Mamea. Well, styles make fights, and this one's a good one.
Good, great competitive fight. I feel like Bialy's just a step ahead right now, Mamea.
Yeah, the shot, dropping him, the back, I think that would be enough to inch Bialy out in the lead on this one, at least in that first round.
But Mamea's in the fight.
Mamea is in the fight. Bialy is not running away with it.
Once again over in the corner of Ramsey Nijem in the Pit SLC. Busy night for them. And so far so good as Dennis Bialy, again, really stopped the momentum of Mamea early on round 1.
And you could see him get the confidence. He started to gain a little more confidence as that round went on. He was starting to pick him apart a little bit with those leg kicks.
I'll say this too. I don't know if I've ever seen a debuter like Tafu Mamea who moves that well. Quite a shock for the guy on the other side of the cage.
Very impressive.
Well, and it shows the quality of the guys he's in the gym with.
When they announce that he's from Samoa, then you know he's going to be tough.
Top of round 2, powered by Cage Punch, the official cleaning supplier of Fierce FC. Some quick feints. No telegraph on that leg kick as Bialy answers back.
Bialy definitely landing the harder shots right now.
Clipped the chin just moments ago. Mamea ate it.
Just as I say that, Mamea cracks him with 2 overhands and a jab.
Another overhand. Another overhand. He's finding a home.
But Bialy keeps moving forward.
Hard switch kick. Almost caught him in the head with the knee.
Yeah, that knee was close.
Bialy unloads, so fast twitch by both.
Yeah, I think Bialy's he just took a deep breath.
What I like is Mamea takes a step back and then a step to the side. He's not just letting him run him down back into the cage when he is on the outside.
And those leg kicks are starting to become very effective for Bialy.
Back and forth. It feels like either of them could close the show with just one strike. Some clean connections by Mamea. That uppercut finding a home.
Bialy right back in it, though.
Yeah, now he just got caught, though. He might be hurt.
Bialy on the retreat. Mamea breaks through the guard. Bialy tries to fight through. A scramble finds Bialy on top after a couple of roll-throughs. 45 seconds to go, round number 2.
Mamea hit him with the hip toss and overcommitted.
And now how winded is Mamea going to be after that output there? Because he looked like he was already gasping for air.
Bialy builds over the body of Mamea. Solid spot as we close out the second frame.
Bialy needs to try to hipscape. There it is. Needs to buck again.
Third and final is coming up. But what a matchup this has been. Sound like a broken record, but Jason, that's a debuter on your screen right now.
That is very impressive. Very, very impressive.
That's
just
a
when you think
hard
the kid's
round
out. Yeah, just when you think the kid's out, he comes back and starts throwing punches and hurts Bialy.
Yeah, and I mean, Mamea looked like he was winning most of the exchanges, and then, Bialy comes right back up. He's right in his chin, still continue to throw, and then ends up at the top at the end in full mount.
Mamea alongside Zane Finley for this one. Making the trek up from Las Vegas to get his first time and first rep inside of the cage. Dennis Bialy, an incredible dance partner for him as this third and final round is upon us. Such an impressive showing by both. Gas tank conservation will be in question. Final 3 minutes we go.
Bialy came out guns a-blazing in the moment.
Bialy does not look tired.
And neither one of them, they're just throwing.
Couple of crushing overhands for both parties as Bialy closes distance.
Bialy's trying to make a statement here.
Bialy has found himself on top in the grappling exchanges twice through this fight so far.
So I'd like to see Bialy reach over the shoulder of Mamea and pull the hand down. Where he's up on one leg, he's very susceptible to being taken down here.
Back to his bases, Mamea reverses the position. To the center we go.
Good out.
I think Mamea needs to set these punches up a little bit. Bialy's just kind of letting him walk forward. But he's not really doing anything back neither.
A little bit more labored in the strikes thrown as Mamea hits a potent one right there.
Impressive is the kid from Vegas.
Likes that uppercut too, just like his friend Nasir Davis.
Does. And right now, he's winning this third round. There's that uppercut again.
Cracking leg kick lands for Bialy.
How tough is Mamea? Oh, that was a hard body kick.
Bellowing blow to the body for Bialy.
Bialy breathing hard.
Nice knee up the middle for the Pitt SLC fighter. Just 50 seconds to decide this one.
You have to be careful throwing those knees when they're fatigued. You inadvertently hit somebody in the head, which is illegal in amateur.
Mamea looked right over this corner. They told him to circle out, and he did just that.
Quick pause in the action between the two. Mutually agreed upon. Nice head movement by Bialy.
There's 30 seconds. The guy that turns it up here could win this. The guy that wants it worse can win this.
Oh, top shelf kick for Bialy lands. Get some oohs and ahs from this local crowd.
Didn't see what happened there. Was that a low blow there?
It looked like a low blow. I didn't see what happened either. Bialy was grabbing at the cup, though.
Some winces by the Pitt SLC fighter. I believe Bialy just taking short break. 10-second clapper win.
He got
Came over, said it is certainly below the belt. As Mamea gets a quick warning.
used a little different verbiage, but you get the gist of it.
When you're in there, any verbiage is just verbiage. The articulation sometimes is lost in translation.
I want another round.
It has been an incredible bout thus far. Back into action. Bialy slings a low shot. What a fight.
Very impressive. Very impressive from the kid from Vegas and Bialy, both leaving it all in the cage tonight.
That was a great fight. I wonder what the low blow and the pause in action with 15 seconds left leaves for the judges. What's your thought process then as a judge, right?
All right, I believe we do have the low blow right near the end of the round, just to pinpoint where it was. Looks as though, Eric, it was that right knee of Mamea. Hard to see in the viewfinder. All that being said, it will be interesting to see what the judges thought.
I didn't see it, so just a weird angle.
Yeah, very weird angle. Interesting fight. I thought Mamea won the third round. I thought Bialy was up 2-0 going into the third round, but very competitive fight from the kid out of Vegas.
A knockdown, couple of legs up in terms of grappling, but Tafu Mamea, a tough draw in his debut, nonetheless, could easily get his hand raised as well. He looked good.
He could. He definitely, in my opinion, definitely won that third round.
Well, this one going either way would make a lot more sense than the first fight we saw, to me.
I mean, we didn't really get the chance to talk about it. Jason, your thoughts on that first one?
On that first fight, I kind of called it at the end of that second round. Cervantes, I felt like he was more active, even though it was from the bottom. I don't necessarily hate it. I don't agree with it, but I don't hate it. I can see it's a split decision.
Well,
I like it.
In my career, it seemed like I was always losing if I was on the bottom. Maybe I'm just biased, but
what the judges are looking for, they're looking for damage. Cervantes was doing more damage. Dude was just controlling, and if they're looking for damage, that was Cervantes.
All right, verdict is in. Let's go to Hubs.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Dennis Bialy.
How about it? Dennis Bialy, that is now 2 straight for the Pitt SLC. Plenty of prelim coverage still to come live from SLC.
Your brand, on the move, wherever life takes you. Seen in the rush of adrenaline, in the freedom of the ride, in the heights of adventure, and the thrill of new perspectives. No limits, no borders, just your brand reaching new heights. Wherever the journey takes you, your business deserves to be seen. JC Pro Design, wherever you go, make it visible.
Garcia. Oh! Puts Oregon down, completely asleep. Scan the QR code on your screen for access to Fierce FC's digital program. Get the inside scoop on every fighter making the walk tonight, as well as additional information on future shows. So the man you see right there in the center below is Teague Vigil. Unfortunately, was slated, made weight alongside his dance partner this evening and Leon Taylor, but Leon Taylor unfortunately hospitalized shortly after the weigh-ins, had kidney stones, so that fight has been scrapped.
Yeah, I mean, I know Teague has had a string of bad luck when it comes to fighters pulling out. Not that Leon pulled out on purpose. Very valid excuse. He did have kidney stones, but still, once again, Teague Vigil off the card.
Most certainly unfortunate. We'll play on here Giovanni Carrillo, Ruben Roundstone, couple of top-level flyweights.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is brought to you by ESPN 792.1 FM, Utah's #1 sports talk, and official sponsor of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our next two fighters, Giovanni Carrillo and then Ruben Rivera, to the cage.
Well, how impressive is this? Just 3 weeks removed from his first, another win is in the sights of Giovanni Carrillo. Eric, he had a fight in his backyard of Vernal, Utah on September 13th, now a shot to sequence his wins on short notice.
Well, sometimes when you come off of a win, if you don't take a lot of damage, you just keep going, right? And that's how you get some experience.
And Jason says he's felt like an oversight to some of the top flyweights in the past. Looks to prove he isn't against a trending contender in Ruben Rivera.
Yeah, he's got his chance tonight to prove it against Ruben Rivera. This kid is going to have his hands full tonight.
Giovanni Carrillo is so electric, sat down his opponent inside the single digits with a ruthless overhand right last month, has scored knockdowns on both of his opponents in MMA thus far, won the last one inside of 35 seconds, only strapped on the submission for a second before his opposition was tapping, so a tight squeeze as well.
Yeah, very tight squeeze.
Giovanni Carrillo told me that he has really begun to prioritize the finish after a draw in his debut in March. A little bit controversial, but said it was a blessing and a way to learn and improve. That all being said, a quick turnaround for him to try to make it 2 in a row. So October was in the sights for him as Ruben Rivera is a man of his word. Jason, he has been unbelievable with a kickboxing win in May, a submission victory in July, and now a chance to really make his mark as a top prospect amongst Utah's best.
Yeah, his name's already up there. Rise Boxing they're coming. They're a new gym to look out for. They've been bringing some fighters, and Ruben his name is up there at the top right now.
And Eric, he has been coined the dark horse of Utah MMA right now. What a timetable for him. Wins in May and July, and then his younger brother Ray was supposed to fight in September for his kickboxing debut, was unable to compete, but Ruben keeps the schedule swelled this evening.
Well, Ruben being busy, coming off a couple of wins is awesome. He's also going to be a training partner of Chris Ventura, so you know he's got some quality guys in the gym. I'm interested in this style matchup, especially where Giovanni's dropped. You know, he's put a couple of guys down. So the first 30 seconds of this fight could be super interesting.
Ruben Rivera, similar to Giovanni, matted his opposition in Amos Montoya a pair of times in July. So special out of Rise Boxing. Here's some of the numbers on paper presented by R&R Barbecue. Rivera, the younger man, at 26 with no height advantage for either corner. A little bit larger last night on the plate for the Park City talent as each look to sequence their second straight. All right, to get this one off the ground, we've got hoops.
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the amateur flyweight division. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 1 win, 0 losses, and 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in at 124 pounds. Fighting at a brute force fight team, hailing from Vernal, Utah, Giovanni El Leon Carrillo. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win and 0 losses. He stands 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in at 125 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Rise Boxing, hailing from Parks. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge, Dave Selyestead.
Dave Selyestead set to sequence 3 straight live at Fierce FC 43. Bout number 3 presented by ESPN 792.1, Utah's #1 sports talk station and home to the University of Utah Athletics. Fast start for the flyweights. Rivera chops over the top. Nice knee up the middle as well for the Park City talent.
Rivera's being very explosive. I'd like to see him just settle down a hair, get his feet under him a little better, but
He's kind of overwhelming Giovanni at the moment. Giovanni can't get set with anything. Rivera's just overwhelming him with punches.
Fast and flashy up the gut once again. Carrillo continues to come forward.
Ooh, nice counter. I mean, right now it's just all Carrillo. Excuse me, Rivera.
you know, Rivera, for being 1-0, look at how he's mixing up his strikes. He's throwing hands, he's going to the legs, he's throwing his kicks. Looks very seasoned.
Been training for 2 years, but a whole lot outside of a gym prior to that, alongside his brother and his dad.
Right now, just Giovanni just doesn't have an answer. Speed advantage with Rivera at the moment.
Giovanni's loading up. I think he's just kind of hoping that he lands something big. He's not throwing anything more than one shot at a time.
So quick with the combinations is Ruben Rivera, nearing the 1 minute mark of round number 1.
You're going to start, he's going to start feeling overwhelmed with Rivera hitting him.
I think he already is feeling overwhelmed. He looks confused right now.
Another weighty knee right up the middle as Carrillo continues to move in that forward direction and take the heat from Rivera.
Rivera needs to get some respect right now. Carrillo needs to get some respect. I keep getting mixed up. I apologize about that.
Rivera gained so much confidence after that victory in July. Talked a lot about having both the grappling and the striking, being a well-rounded guy. Same can be said about the Vernal fighter and Giovanni Carrillo.
Rivera's footwork's just exceptionally faster. He's in, he's hitting, he's out, he's angling.
Throwing feints.
Nice step inside for Carrillo, late round 1.
Nice knee to the body by Rivera.
Those knees are savage.
That was solid.
And I will say this, the knee's a similar shade to what Chris Ventura has started to do a whole lot as well in his most recent bouts.
It must be something that's written on the whiteboard up there at Rise Boxing. Knees to the body.
Well, I've gotten to spar a lot with the Rise guys, and they're very, very well-rounded. Striking's very diverse.
Over in the corner for Rivera, has talked in the past about being able to conserve the gas tank, specifically in his kickboxing bout. Went to the decision but gassed out late. Might see something similar here, but cardio has been such a priority for him.
Yeah, right now he looks good. He's clicking on all cylinders right now. Like Eric said, he's firing combinations. His feints, footwork is good. He looks fast. Right now, kind of confusing Carrillo.
I'd like to know what Carrillo's corner is telling him to do.
What would you be telling him?
Move your feet, stay at the end of the jab until you have something. Maybe take him down. If you're getting mollywopped on your feet that much, maybe go to the ground.
Again, Carrillo did come away with a 35-second rear naked choke just 3 weeks ago in his hometown of Vernal, Utah. Round 2 presented by ESPN Radio 792.1.
See the angles?
He's just cutting, Rivera beautifully cutting those angles because Carrillo's trying to come in, put a little more pressure on him, but the footwork from Rivera, stellar at the moment.
Still a sparking style by Rivera, but Carrillo starting to land some heat as well.
Carrillo's still showing some fire, though. I mean, he's doing better now.
Yeah, he's starting to come forward a little bit, and he actually throws some punches.
And he's countering.
Oh, he was.
I feel like I always say it too late.
Just a second too late.
Prior to that first round finish, in terms of Giovanni Carrillo, did go to a decision in both his kickboxing debut as well as his MMA debut, so has been into the later rounds of MMA in the past.
Rivera just threw a great feint with an overhand that just landed flush. The speed is there, and he's not slowing down. Great timing of that kick.
Rivera,
big swing and a miss.
Kind of just doing whatever he wants right now.
The teeps to the body have been certainly something of note, specifically about the halfway point of round number 2 early on.
Well, if we're looking at the difference just when they're squaring up, Rivera's hands are very tight, very disciplined, right? Carrillo's are very loose. His hands are down around his waist.
Another kick hits as Carrillo has one for himself.
Just too much speed from Rivera.
I just heard Marco call for that jab to the body. I'd like to see him throw that again and go over the head, over the top to the head.
Carrillo catches the kick, unable to capitalize on anything with it, rips to the body. Ruben Rivera tends to the body a whole lot in round number 2. Giovanni Carrillo, uphill battle to climb.
Yeah, definitely an uphill battle for Carrillo. I just think he's just overwhelmed. The speed from Rivera right now is the difference. He looks phenomenal.
So did you guys see Carrillo looks a little bit lost as he's coming back to his corner. His corner's walking him down to the stool. A direct indication, if I'm Marco over in Rivera's corner, go at him. Go at him right now. My opinion is Rivera's up, but let's not get hit by something silly in the last round, right? Let's go at him. Let's try to stop it.
Marcus Hackford, Dalton Clark making the trek out here. And although he hasn't been getting dominated by any means, Jason, Ruben Rivera has just been a step ahead, faster, and a little bit more advantageous.
Yeah, you just nailed it. Just a step ahead. Carrillo seemed to start the second round a little bit faster. He was coming forward, but just Rivera just overwhelming, and he looks phenomenal. The footwork, the speed, cutting angles, all Rivera tonight.
I'm interested to see how Carrillo's recovered because not a good look going to the stool.
He had a couple good body shots to end the round, but just not enough, I don't think.
Well, Rivera's just busier and landing more accurately.
Still such a spring in his step is Ruben Rivera.
Oh.
Quick knockdown as well for the Park City fighter as he'll pounce.
And I like the patience from Rivera. He waited. That's under the chin.
Had a submission in July. Can he get it again?
He's under the chin. That's all but done. He does need to lock up that right hand.
Carrillo fights the digits. Rivera squeezing for his life.
On that knockdown, I really like what Rivera did. He faked the jab and then threw the left, same side.
I like that he didn't rush in right away either. He kind of took his time to go in. How tough is Carrillo?
Very.
I mean, you would have thought he would. I mean, a lot of fighters would have tapped out on that rear naked choke, and he's still up there fighting.
So I also like what Carrillo did when he came out. He threw a couple of really solid leg kicks. I think if he'd have went to that in the first round a little bit more, he could have slowed Rivera down, and that would have got, that would have got some points and get some advantage going down the stretch, especially as fast as Rivera was moving on his feet.
Massive moment for Rivera. Minute 20 to decide this one as Carrillo continues to try to find a hip and get back upright.
You got to give Carrillo some props for staying in this fight.
He's
and
in the
not
fight.
giving up. I mean, the kid's a fighter through and through.
And he's tough.
But all Rivera.
Yeah, I think Rivera's just overwhelmed him bell to bell.
We have seen so many strides from him. Again, May, the kickboxing debut, passed with flying colors. July looked sensational against a guy who seemed to have the grappling edge, and he submits him. And now another big name in Giovanni Carrillo, and Ruben Rivera renders dominant.
Rise Boxing is on the rise right now.
I see what you did.
You like that? You like that?
Been working that one all week. Saying it in the mirror. Some movement from bottom as the final seconds wane. Rivera gets up top first. Couple of knees to close it out as we will see scorecards once again. Jackson Hoops and Company, very busy this evening.
Yeah, very busy. Judges are very busy tonight. Should be pretty easy, 30-27 for Rivera.
So much respect out of these two flyweights. Eric, we talked about it, that they both kind of had a chip on their shoulder coming into this, wanted to make their names well known. Carrillo obviously shows that he is durable. Ruben shows that his future is very bright.
You know, hats off to Carrillo at the end. He could have stayed down. He could have laid there. He could have just let himself, finish the fight there. He didn't. He had an opportunity to get up. He was still fighting. He got up. He kept trying to work. Hats off to him. He's tough. Just maybe a little more seasoning, you know what I mean?
Ruben Rivera says he always wants to put on a show for us. He most certainly did once again.
Great footwork, fast footwork. That was exceptional. Nice work.
Quick message over to the man likely to get his hand raised, but on the other side, Giovanni Carrillo has a smile on his face, and how impressive to step in on short notice. 3 weeks ago was fighting in his hometown, now makes the trek out and still has a bright future of his own. Giovanni Carrillo, cannot wait to see what the future holds for him. 10s and 9s seem to be piling in. And if Ruben Rivera is to move to 2-0, 1 or 2 more, Eric, and a title fight should be looming for this guy.
Yeah, the skill's there right now. He doesn't necessarily need 5 more fights to get that experience. He's there. I mean, he shows his skill.
Hopes is there as well. We'll see his skill as we kick it to him.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 30-26, 30-27, and 30-26, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Ruben Rivera!
Talented prospects in Sammy Borst and Casey Pierce are on deck.
Come on, check this out. Check this out.
Hey Fierce fans, Kibble Davis here with Prime Labs. We are now the official lab testing partner for all of Fierce Fighting Championships fighters. We provide a combat trio for all fighters across the Wasatch Front, as well as if you want to get in the best shape like one of your favorite fighters, we provide many comprehensive blood panels. All you have to do is click on the link or text 385-645-7400.
Whether you're a fighter or just someone that wants to take charge of their own care and looking to address a lack of sleep, fat gain, or even muscle growth, Prime Labs has different panels for all financial situations. So please shoot us a text at 385-645-7400, scan the QR code, or please go to the website and come check us out.
So a couple of 30-26s in favor of Ruben Rivera as he will reside to his home as a 2-0 amateur. Casey Pierce, Sammy Borst, this one made just a few weeks ago as well. Borst to make her debut. Pierce is on deck for her 7th.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is brought to you by Underground Farm, the official wellness supplements of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our next 2 fighters, Sammy Borst and then Casey Pierce, to the cage.
All right, first time mixing the disciplines for Sammy Borst. Eric, a later notice, but already been under the BKFC lights as well as a standard boxing debut. Somewhat of a head start opposite an amateur vet this evening.
Yeah, the difference in experience is going to be something to see. Yeah, because, I mean, Casey's 3-3. Sammy's a debut. You know, I wonder what the training rooms look like in Billings. There's a lot of things we're going to find out here shortly.
If she fought under the BKFC banner, you know she can fight. You know she likes to fight is what my impression would be.
Yeah, had a draw as an amateur in BKFC, which is gloved if you are an amateur for anyone keeping track at home in Montana versus Dakota Rhodes. Then had a boxing debut in July alongside her own teammate.
So I didn't know that BKFC did amateur fighting. So
neither did I. I actually learned it just a couple of days ago. All right, second time seeing Casey Pierce on a Fierce card this year. Jason, she has such an imposing style and was well on her way to a decision victory in her last bout, just got caught late.
Yeah, she got caught late, but look, she's well-rounded. Don't let the record fool you. She's tough as they come, 3-3. She'll, like Eric said, she's going to have the experience when she steps in the cage tonight.
Nearly 6 minutes of control time counted for Pierce in her last walk within a 7.5-minute matchup. Over 9 years invested into the sport, Eric. Debut was back in July of 2016. Quite tenured for her.
Well, the experience is going to be telling. We're definitely going to see something. Like I said, we're going to learn a little bit about both of them right out of the gate.
A win for Casey Pierce would be her first in nearly 7 years. December 15th, 2018. Had a big layoff, then has dropped her last few in a row. That all being said, Casey Pierce has looked good in just about every matchup that she has made the walk for. And again, her second walk of 2025 hasn't been able to couple her appearances in the Fierce cage since 2018.
Yeah, let's see if she can start a win streak going here tonight. And can I just add, one of the best corners in Fierce Fighting Championship history? Can we please see a second round so I can see him towel Casey with the towel? I love that.
Kofi Adzizo out of Cache Valley Martial Arts in Logan, Utah. Cody Udi, also a part of Casey Pierce's camp in the lead up to tonight. Some good names over there. Mauro Gutierrez coming away with a boxing win just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that. With those names in her corner, I would think she's going to try to get this fight to the ground.
Again, Pierce been fighting for just under a decade, and she has been so special for years. As we go to our tale of the tape, Pierce, 4 years younger but 1 inch taller, both passed the strawweight scale test last night. A debut beckons for Borst. Pierce looks for win number 4. Just about set inside to tee it up. we got hopes.
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the amateur strawweight division. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. Making her amateur debut, she stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in at 116 pounds. Fighting out of the Grindhouse, hailing from Billings, Montana, Sammy Borst. And introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 3 wins and 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of Cache Valley Martial Arts, hailing from Preston, Idaho, Casey Pierce. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge, Dave Selyestead.
A strawweight scrap, Sammy Borst alongside Casey Pierce, is sponsored by Underground Farm, the official wellness supplement of Fierce FC. Quick with the boxing is Borst as Pierce pieces together a couple of kicks and now bids to grapple.
That's what I was waiting for. We'll see if Pierce can get it to the ground.
Borst gets a reversal, though, gets Pierce against the cage.
And Pierce working for the back.
Oh, she just kind of climbed right up.
Borst, a jiu-jitsu blue belt, received it a year and a half ago, podiumed in numerous jiu-jitsu competitions over her time training.
So no slouch on the ground either.
Certainly has all the tools. A tattoo artist by day. Her husband, Brian Borst, also a fighter himself, in her corner this evening.
Right now, Borst the one taking the fight. Oh, Pierce looking for a leg lock. My knee hurts just from watching that.
She needs to keep rotating.
Pierce stays stubborn with that isolation of the leg. Tough spot to pull off a submission.
I was going to say, Eric, how effective is that in an MMA fight?
Well, so she can't do a straight knee lock as an amateur.
I believe you can. I might be way off on that, so my apologies.
Is that something they would cover in the rules?
I haven't been an amateur in 150 years. But, yeah, they cover it in the rules. I'm pretty sure you can't do a straight knee lock as an amateur.
Straight ankles, obviously, legal, as Borst reverses the position beautifully.
I'm impressed with Borst so far.
Very. She went right at her.
Yeah, she went right at her.
She's had multiple fights drop off for her MMA debut over the past year.
The worst. That's the worst.
Borst on top. Pierce.
Like Pierce
looks to target an arm.
Yeah, looks like she's got it.
Over in the corner.
That's
looks like we got the tap. Casey Pierce snaps a long overdue streak. Her first submission victory since December of 2018.
You know, and just as I say, I'm going to answer too late. I was going to say it's going to be hard for her to lock that in unless she flattens her out because she was against the cage, and there it went.
There it went.
What a moment for Casey Pierce. It has been so long since she has gotten her hand raised inside that cage. And Sammy Borst brought the fight to her immediately. A solid first frame by the two of them.
She did. She brought the fight to Casey for sure and was winning that round, in my opinion, up until that point.
I thought she was winning it too. And, you know, shows the patience into being tough, you know.
Looks like we got it right here. Eric, all yours.
Yeah, so right there I was worried that she wouldn't be able to get her because she's folded up against the cage, right? As soon as she laid her down flat, though, she's able to bridge her hips and lock it in.
Solid submission and overcome with emotion as Casey Pierce gets her first win in quite a while. Sammy Borst, hope to see her back potentially inside the Fierce cage. Let's make it official with hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selyestead has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 29 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to an arm bar, Casey Pierce.
What a win for Casey Pierce. We will step aside from Salt Lake City for a word from our friends at Honda.
Hi, I'm Jason Laporte, Fierce Fighting Championship commentator and general sales manager at Performance Honda in Bountiful. We are the fastest growing Honda dealership in the state, and we have one of the largest certified pre-owned inventories in the state of Utah. Our service department has master technicians with over 100 years experience collectively.
Bienvenidos a Performance Honda Bountiful, donde los atendemos en español y les ponemos una sonrisa todos los días.
Visit us at 2215 South 500 West or performancehondabountiful.com.
Here at Rocky Mountain Power, we're dedicated to delivering the safe, reliable power you count on. We're proud of our industry-leading reliability, but we're always pushing to do better. That's why we're out working every day to ensure that everything is operating smoothly and ready for all seasons, from winter weather to summer heat and everything in between. It's all part of honoring our commitment to you and delivering the power you need. See how we make it happen at rockymountainpower.net/reliability.
Seven days separated the debut to signing for this one as Jet Swain gets right back into action. Jason, his debut 3 weeks ago was an emphatic arrival to the Utah MMA scene. If he does it again, we got a prospect prime for some big spots in Fierce's future.
I like it. This is what the amateur ranks are all about. Let's get in there. Let's fight. Let's get some experience. This is a tough kid. This is going to be a great fight tonight.
Eric, so impressive as he faced a bigger body in Jared Sellers last time out and dominated it in every direction of the fight versus the 3-1 fighter at the time. Just 6 seconds to score his first takedown and 17 seconds into round 2 to close up shop.
Yeah, having that quick of a turnaround, this is a good opportunity for him to stretch his legs, get some experience. Like Jason said, this is what the amateur ranks are about. You get your experience here, and then you start being a little more tactical on how you grow your career once you get to a professional level.
Jet Swain, an All-American wrestler in high school and in college at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and then Northwest College. He has been so impressive, poses a rabid pace, should be fun against a guy like Steven Ilakai. Back-to-back vernal opposition for Steven Ilakai. Eric, it's been 6 straight first-round exits for him. Win or lose, a fast start pens with him.
Well, so if they're both fast starters, who starts faster? So usually when this is the case, right, you want to really pay attention that first minute because somebody wants to try to close the round fast or close the fight fast. It's either explosion or both of them understand that and they try to keep distance and pace it out. It's always like that grappler versus striker or grappler versus grappler. Is it going to go to grappling or is it going to be a stand-up fight? It's something similar.
Yeah, I was just noticing in his corner you got Joe Bish and you got Gary Gomez, so he's got 2 boxing coaches in his corner right now.
He grew up in Tonga, comes from the world of Taekwondo. His kicks are certainly a high point of his game. He fought Jet's teammate Benjamin Franklin in his most recent walk in November of last year. We'll see if he's got any response for this vernal crew in Steven Ilakai. Combined record of his opponents, 8-1 for the last 4. He welcomes anyone and everyone excited to see him inside the Fierce cage for the very first time. Always in his element most when chaos ensues, likely how we will start this one in a matter of moments. A couple of light heavyweights for this one. As we pull up our tail of the tape, a dozen years divide them. Swain stands 2 inches taller. Lakai missed the mark by a large margin at 210. A 3-4 record for him, juxtaposed by 1-0 for the Vernal talent. Mike is hot for this one, inside of the center with
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the amateur light heavyweight division. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win and 0 losses. He stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 201 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Bruce Brute Force Fight Team, hailing from Vernal, Utah, Jet Swain. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 3 wins and 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in above the contracted weight at 210 pounds. Fighting out of Lakai Martial Arts, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah, by way of Tonga, Stiveni, the Tongan Warlord, Lakai. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge, Dave Seljestad.
Dave Seljestad, also to handle the title bout and co-main event later on in our coverage. Light heavyweight matchup headed into this one, made possible by Bear Claw Orthographics, the official mouthguard provider of Fierce FC.
That's
big shot
not
over.
Promising. If you're Lakai, you know, he took that first left and stumbled a little bit.
How much confidence is Brute Force MMA having this kid to put him in there with the guy with so many fights on 3 weeks notice, and he's already, well, you can see how much confidence they got him because he's already about to get the back of Lakai.
So quick, so heavy with those strikes. Jet Swain looking solid as he moves up a weight class for this one as well. An 8.5 pound separation between the two as Lakai missed weight last time out. Swain picks his shots well. He'll stand up and welcome the mayhem in the stand-up.
I like it. Jet said, let's bang.
Is that Lakai's mouthpiece?
Yeah, I think Lakai's
is about to be
clocking out.
How about it? First round finish fueled by Jet Swain. Sensational sophomore showing by him.
Impressive. That kid's impressive. He just overwhelmed Lakai.
I can definitely appreciate Jet having very little respect for his opponent, the way that he came out and fought him. He's a weight misser. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how else to put it. He missed weight. Jet made weight. Jet went out there and just walked him down, put it on him, had no respect for him.
So a win on September 13th last month. A win tonight, both of them. Emphatic finishes. The debut was in the second round. This one in the first. Jet Swain. Can't wait to see this guy a little bit more.
Mark that name down.
Let's get him on the next card.
Let's get him on November.
So he has plans to travel to Thailand to train Muay Thai and some striking, just round out his game a little bit more after Thanksgiving. So he would like to get one more potentially. November 14th, we are slated at the Masonic Temple. Would love to see it.
I'm here for it. Let's get the kid in there.
Yeah, I'm with it too.
Just about speechless as Jet Swain is about to move to 2-0.
Fans, referee Dave Seljestad has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 22 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Jet Swain.
So like just mentioned, November 14th, we are back in action in Salt Lake City. Let's take a look as to what to expect.
I'm looking over at Zach Partridge, and he just said, wow.
Got the tap. Drake Anderton headed home with some hardware.
She was smiling while she was smashing her, and Dicey Hannah Silva motion that she wanted a belt.
Micaiah August, debut successful. What a win for the Price fighter.
Amazing. How about that, huh?
Let's go! So Jet Swain 2-0 for him. Nate Ayers, Chris Ventura on deck as a fight of the night might be brewing between these two.
Fierce fans, our final fight of the preliminary card is brought to you by Prime Labs, the official lab partner of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our next two fighters, Nate Ayers and then Chris Ventura to the cage.
Fierce fans, make some noise for the Chris, the chosen one, Ventura!
Yeah, this is the step up in competition for him. This is going to be a great fight, non-stop. This guy's full of energy. He's got power, he's got grappling, he's got striking. I'm really excited for Nate Ayers tonight. Ventura's just doing what he wants right now.
A couple of battering uppercuts land for Ventura. So calm, so calculated. Every time he's in there, Jason, he looks better and better, specifically with his stand-up.
Yeah, scary good tonight.
And declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Nate Ayers!
He has been so impressive as an amateur and looked better than ever. As that's enough, Chris Ventura, another victory, first one on his home turf.
Put your hands together and make some noise!
Dancing his way towards the cage, trying to string three straight in MMA is Nate Ayers. Jason, just about 11 months since we last saw him in small gloves, but the improvements have been vast when we refer to the 72nd Muay Thai finish earlier this year.
Yeah, he looked really good in that Muay Thai event. I've seen him in the training room, somebody that I've trained with, puts himself in bad positions, gets out of them all the time. He's tough as nails, superb on the ground, great striking. This is a great, great fight.
Eric began training combat sports in December of 2021, 1-0 in kickboxing, 1-0 in Muay Thai as he eyes 3-1 in the cage. He has been so solid.
That two-step coming out of the corner right there, coming in, that was solid, okay? that was solid. Good pedigree, like good background, right? Now we get to see how this develops, how he ties the striking into the MMA. He's got some MMA experience too, so. But you know, Chris is a savage too, so this is a fight you want to pay attention to.
Jason impressively recorded a takedown or a knockdown in every bout he's had.
Yeah, he's, like I said, he's very well-rounded. I've watched him in the training room. Something I noticed, Nate got a haircut. Usually he's rocking the braids.
Nice haircut, looks clean on him. Again, second fighter out of Sierra MMA, Austin Dew, coming away with a decision loss, but a close one, no doubt about it. Nate Ayers loves to shoot out of a cannon and is always on the front foot. Should be fun alongside a dance partner like Chris Ventura, who is also always in constant motion. Scored a sweep and 2 knockdowns in his Muay Thai debut in May. We will see if he is as electric as he typically is when he meets his match out of Park City. Back-to-back SLC backdrops for the chosen one, Chris Ventura. Eric, his stand-up is so special, and with a sequence third straight tonight, a title fight should be tied to his name.
Chris's stand-up's very smooth. He strings his combinations together very well. Like I said, I've been in the practice room with him. I've seen him. I'm really excited for this fight. Ayers is very explosive. Chris is very smooth and calculating. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Jason, the early on record was derailed, but been so good in 2025, going 2-0. We do remember the no contest as well as the loss last year. But since this year turned over, he has been really, really solid.
Yeah, he's looked phenomenal. You can see he's in shape tonight. He's got his diet in check, dropped some weight, and he looked really impressive his last go-round.
Knew at the age of 15 that he wanted to take a fight. He has become such a solid name out of Rise Boxing. So respected, and rightfully so. Eric, every time I talk about a fighter out of Park City, he is the first name mentioned.
Yeah, and I was there for the no contest, and I think that was pretty I don't think that was the right call, so I don't know why I just had to say that. I just got to stick up for him. You
just
know what
about
I mean?
every analyst says it when he enters the cage. A number one contender contest, Ayers is older at 27 as their height and weight match up evenly. Both guys have recorded 2 consecutive victories with a fight of the night contender forecasted. Let's get it going with Jay.
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds and is an amateur 115-pound catchweight bout. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 149 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Sierra MMA, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah, Nate Black Adam Ayers. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 149 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Rise Boxing, Classic Fight Team, and Agima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from West Valley City, Utah, Chris the Chosen One Ventura. And when the referee in charge, Tyler Tomlinson.
A title opportunity is on the other side of this one, supported by Prime Labs, the official lab partner of Fierce FC. Chris Ventura in the purple, Nate Ayers in the cheetah.
Crowd on their feet for this one.
Couple of fan favorites, most definitely. When we posted that package on our social medias, a whole lot of people voicing their support for both. A couple of big swings by Ayers early on.
And Nate is strong for this weight class. He's a big 145er.
Well, he's bodied up, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is an athlete. Will Chris be able to handle the pressure? We know his striking's there. Is he going to be able to handle the pressure from Nate?
Ayers played lacrosse growing up prior to finding martial arts. Ventura, more of a football and basketball player.
Nice trip takedown by Nate Ayers right on top of Chris Ventura. And Nate is a problem when he gets on top.
Ventura has been so solid at defending takedowns over this 2-fight streak that he has been on. Takedown attempt successful for Ayers early on round 1.
Ayers taking Chris right over to the corner up against the cage. And now Nate has Chris right in the corner. And then we saw Austin here in this position in the first fight of the night, and he didn't do too much with that top position. Could have cost him the fight. We'll see if Nate has learned from that in this fight.
Ayers with a decision victory as well as a submission in July of 2024. Lost his debut back in 2022.
Like I said, Nate, it's going to be hard for Chris to get up from this position on Nate. Nate is a problem when he gets on top.
Well, big, strong, it just makes a problem to get up.
He's an athlete.
Especially when Chris is flat on his back. Yeah, it looks like Chris has got a cut already.
Maybe with that early exchange.
Yeah, they were both exchanging early on.
Also of note, this is now 3 consecutive bouts where Ayers has taken down his opponent inside of a minute. Riding it out well. Just about 40 ticks to go, round 1.
Heavy pressure from Nate right now. Just making it ugly. Not a lot of damage.
A lot of control, though.
A lot of control, making it uncomfortable. The difference from this one than that first fight is Cervantes was doing a lot of damage from the bottom.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing that from Ventura right now. He's just being controlled at the moment. I mean, Chris doing a good job defending and not letting Nate cause him any problems right now, but
yeah, Chris is stuck, though. He needs to get his hips out.
Some solid wrestling out of Sierra MMA to start things off. Chris Ventura has his work cut out for him. We'll head over to that side of the cage. Again, Eric, not a whole lot of offense garnered up, more so just grappled. But he defended 8 in March, wasn't taken down in August. This is something that he hasn't dealt with for a while.
Yeah, I was curious about this when they announced this fight. Would Chris be able to handle that from Nate? Because I knew Nate had that ground experience and that wrestling experience. We know Chris is a great striker. We'll see if he'll be able to combat that and keep this fight on the feet, or at least stop the takedown coming this second round.
Well, like you said, Blake, Chris had defended takedowns pretty well in the other 2 wins, right? But Ayers didn't have to work super hard to get him down. So,
and I know that's something that Ayers has worked on for this camp, is that wrestling, that wall wrestling, the cage wrestling, getting them up against the cage. Not that I want to give out the game plan, but I guess I can because they're fighting and nobody's going to hear me right now. But I'm pretty sure that was the game plan for Nate, to get him up against the fence. They knew Chris was a dangerous striker.
Ayers also a decorated jiu-jitsu competitor. He'll start to strike early on.
Beautiful setup to the takedown attempt by Nate Ayers.
Lightning fast to close distance now on the opposite side of the cage as Nate Ayers tries to get this thing back at home.
Chris was almost out. He needed to duck under the arm, and Ayers caught him.
And Ayers went for that same sweep takedown he had in.
But Chris back to his feet. That's promising. He needs to turn towards him, get that leg free and underhook. I can't tell if he's got that.
And the advantage Chris has right now is Chris is in his corner at this moment.
So I'd like to see Chris peel that, just like that, and get that left arm dug into his armpit. Get that leg back to the ground.
And that's exactly what we saw in the first round.
A
right
deep
into the
arsenal
mount.
of grappling to get Nate Ayers back into the mount. 2 minutes to work as he is rendered dominant early on in this one.
If I'm Chris, I would be working my back towards the cage.
He's not really doing anything right now with the legs. He's got to try to bump, create some space. There we go.
Good shrimp there. Get to the half.
Nestled right over in that corner of Ventura, Marco Sanchez, Dane Aristizabal alongside Ventura for this one.
Nate trying to pin that arm down. There it is.
The way in which Ayers has been able to mat Ventura up to this point has been quite special.
He's not giving Chris the opportunity to set any of those strikes up. He's just closing the distance. He's throwing kicks and going right in for a takedown.
Swarming is really the word that comes to mind in terms of his style, and it's always been that way, but the question was, could he do it against a guy like Ventura? So far, so good for him.
And now Chris working his way up now.
I love that Chris is up, but Chris needs some urgency to get out of this. He's got to reverse this.
Ayers going right back to that leg again to try for that same sweep.
Chris needs to get his hips sideways. That'll help keep that sweep from happening. He needs to point his hips. That hip needs to point towards Ayers.
Ayers going for that sweep again. There it is again.
Back to where his bread is buttered. 20 ticks to go, round 2, as Ayers sits in the guard of the Park City featherweight.
Not a lot of damage from Nate, though, from the top. A lot of control, not a lot of damage. And just as I say that, he starts raining down punches, Eric.
Always a second too late.
Story of my life.
To the final round we go. Very interesting matchup thus far. Nate Ayers It was really forecasted as a close matchup, but right now just seems so far ahead in every matchup.
He does. He does seem so far ahead and using his game plan effectively right now, not letting Chris get comfortable in the stand-up, and Chris doesn't have an answer for the takedowns and the control.
My opinion is this is, Ayers just running away from it. Good timing. When Chris did try to initiate some strikes with the hands, Ayers was right under him, closed the distance, got him against the cage. He's just, executing his plan.
Right now, Nate's an athlete. I mean, he's fast. He's unpredictable. He comes in at awkward angles when he's coming in. I mean, he threw an up kick in the first round that I don't think I've ever seen him throw that glanced over the chin of Chris Ventura. So all Nate Ayers right now, but we know Ventura packs a punch. So we'll see if he can get effective with it.
I'll mention this as well. November 8th, 2024, nearly a year away from the cage for Nate Ayers, has really sharpened all of his skills as he'll land a beautiful leg kick and now close distance once again.
Yeah, it's that awkwardness. He's not setting still. He's not giving Chris Ventura that stationary target. Now right up against the cage again.
Well, guys don't throw kicks and then shoot like that. That's not that natural.
And he's fast, and he's athletic with it. And I have to grapple with him.
How is that?
Not fun.
How do you feel about it?
Not fun.
Highlighted on the scouting report for Ayers is how unorthodox he is in his movement and his positions. A nice knee up the middle for Ventura. First big strike lands for him of the fight.
So from my Muay Thai background, in these positions you do not want a double overhand or, the plum as they call it from the Thai. The guy's going to close. He's going to change levels, and this is what's going to happen. I do like that Chris is trying to work the shots a little bit, but he's got to create some space. If he needs a stoppage.
Yeah, like I mentioned in the second round, this is something that I know Nate has been working on, is this cage wrestling. Get him up in the cage, suffocate him, get the takedown.
Well, you can see this was Ayers' game plan. He's executing it perfectly. He's doing everything correct.
Right now, Chris, no answer right now from Ventura.
Scored some takedowns.
And now he's
about to go down again.
As he'll notch another one. Nate Ayers completely outclassing in the grappling department. Looks solid right now, and a title fight might be looming for him.
I would have to put his name at the top of the list right now. He looks very impressive against a guy that's been on a steamroll.
Oh.
Ventura finds his way to the back.
It's going to be real hard to hold Nate down.
Well, he's only got a minute. Chris needs to get some hooks in if he wants to even try to keep him here, I guess. I guess you're going to see Ayers explode.
Biggest moment of the fight thus far for the Park City combatant.
Yeah, but I think Chris has to stop him. I don't think Chris can just win this. He's not going to win this by points. He's got to stop him.
Nate just too explained. Nate just looks like
he
just woke up this morning just like, yeah, I'm not worried.
Oh.
Nice kick to the face. Now that could have ended the fight quickly.
Bludgers some knees to the body. Ayers
dominant.
Gets right back to his safe space. 30 seconds before we go back to scorecards.
Hats off to Chris for fighting it out, though. Tough. That's man stuff right there. You know what I mean?
Nate was like, here, I'll give you 30 seconds to kind of do what you want, and then I'm just going to explode back up and take you right back down. Kind of big brothered him.
Every moment of the fight, he's been able to get to his grappling bag as he will pepper in a few shots.
And listen, Chris will learn from this. This will be a learning experience for Chris.
Catches his breath, back up to the center, and a backflip to go with it. We'll say he stuck the landing. He's smooth with it. Nate Ayers, looks like a title fight is going to be up next on his schedule. The question is, Derek Jorgensen is currently sidelined with an injury. Another guy that has been very, very good at featherweight, Toa Meredith, although Nate Ayers, Toa Meredith used to train together down in St. George.
Yeah, either one of those fights I would love to see. Jorgensen, I know he's injured, but I would love to see both, because both of those guys could possibly match the athleticism and the awkwardness of Nate Ayers.
Power. Power. He's fast and strong, and that's, especially when we're talking about grappling, that's really hard to overcome.
What an impressive grappling showcase. And Eric, you mentioned it late in the round. Chris Ventura, down 2 rounds, found a way to reverse position, put together a couple of nice knees to the body, but Ayers just suffocating with his grappling.
Threw a beautiful head kick
I was
on the
just
break
gonna
there.
say
That could have ended the fight there.
A little cleaner contact, and that could have changed the whole thing. But, you know, like I said, Ayers, you can tell this was his game plan, and he just execute.
Nate Ayers, 1-2 straight. It will likely be a third. Cannot wait to see what he does next. Hopefully it won't be 11 months. We'll make it official right now in the center with Jay.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Nate Black Adam Ayers.
Massive win for Nate Ayers. Title fight is on the other side of this one. Spencer Hansen, Lane Dalton coming up next.
Your brand, on the move, wherever life takes you. Seen in the rush of adrenaline, in the freedom of the ride, in the heights of adventure, and the thrill of new perspectives. No limits, no borders, just your brand reaching new heights. Wherever the journey takes you, your business deserves to be seen. JC Pro Design. Wherever you go, make it visible.
Garcia. Oh! Bajorgan down, completely asleep. Scan the QR code on your screen for access to Fierce FC's digital program. Get the inside scoop on every fighter making the walk tonight, as well as additional information on future shows. So Nate Ayers looks to be up next at 145 pounds. These guys are on deck for the amateur welterweight title. Lane Dalton out of Eagle, Idaho. Spencer Hansen, the local Utah fighter.
Fierce fans, welcome to the main card. Everybody tuning into the pay-per-view, and everybody here at the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, Utah, put your hands together and make some noise! This title fight is brought to you by R&R Barbecue, the official food vendor of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our next 2 fighters, Lane Dalton and then Spencer Hansen, to the cage.
All right, looking to take home some hardware is Lane Dalton. Jason, he's had to shelf this one for far too long. No opponent drop out on fight week 4 tonight. He's been ready to go since July.
Yeah, I'm excited for this fight too. We didn't talk about it on the pre-broadcast tonight, but this is a banger of a fight too. Lane Dalton, Spencer Hansen, man, this is going to be a banger of a fight.
Yeah, Eric, he had to halt his weight cut just 2 days out from fighting for the title in July when Dosam Leon was unable to compete. It has really upped the ante for him here tonight.
That's tough. You know, you go through all that, you get ready, and it kind of falls apart in the last minute. I mean, we've seen that on a couple other fights tonight. It's unfortunate. It does happen. But, you know, he looks very ready here. That mustache is impressive.
Dalton always has a head full of steam at the sound of the bell. Jason, he has drawn blood of his last 2 opponents that we have footage of in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, this kid's a freight train.
Power is certainly plentiful at 170 pounds as well. A former state champion wrestler, Lane Dalton, back inside the Fierce cage. Called up to the biggest matchup of his MMA stint, here is Spencer Hansen. Jason, no cards close to the chest. He is in there to wrestle and impose his grappling heavy style tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Both guys wrestling backgrounds, both guys tough as nails. What a great title fight.
Yeah, Eric won back-to-back matchups in dominant fashion. A perfect 6 for 6 on his takedown endeavors in his last couple of fights.
That's impressive. Both these guys having a wrestling background. We're going to see how, if Hansen, who imposes the takedown will here.
All of Hansen's matchups have concluded in the first or second round via KO or TKO. We'll see if he does it again with a title on the line. His only loss was to Calvin Taylor in December of 2023. Never beat someone with a recorded win. Dalton has 4. It is certainly a step up, but he was the guy that came out of the scrap when we were looking for someone.
Yeah, he's tough. Like I said, he's tough as nails. These guys are both built similarly, cinder blocks, man. These guys are both solid.
He will be 29 in 2 weeks. Never lost. When fighting at Fierce is Spencer Hansen. A tough task in front of him with Lane Dalton, but he has shown in the past year plus that he is most definitely prepared for an opportunity like this. Final amateur fight finds hardware on the other side. 6 years separate these two, along with a 2-inch height advantage for the Idaho fighter. Both sides limbo the championship rim as Hansen looks for his 3rd, Dalton eyes a championship crowning 5th. All right, all ready to fire is Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, when this fight begins, the referee in charge will be Dave Selyused. This fight is scheduled for 5 rounds for the Fierce Fighting Championship Amateur Welterweight title. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 4 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Dark Horse Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, hailing from Emmett, Idaho, Lane Dalton. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Excite MMA, hailing from Lehi, Utah, Spencer Hansen.
All right, we've been over the rules in the locker room already. Just going to go over those big ones again. Stay at the top, back of the head, neck, and spine, and keep your fingers out of the cage. Still an amateur bout, so the only thing that strikes the head is either a punch or a kick. Got it? Touch them up. Let's have a good fight.
Amateur welterweight title delivered to you in collaboration with R&R Barbecue, the official food vendor of Fierce FC. Spencer Hansen, the local Utah fighter. Lane Dalton, out of Eagle, Idaho.
Okay, serious question though. Does Dalton not give Dan Severn vibes?
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, the grappling certainly stalemates early on, just about 20 seconds, but both guys already bidding to be closed-quartered.
A lot of cage wrestling tonight.
We always talk about the ref being the 3rd man in there, but I mean, the cage really is, right? Because you can ride them against the cage, you can pin them against the cage, you can.
There's Lane with the first takedown.
A guy like Dalton using the cage to pin him, you know, the advantages the cage can give you.
Spencer looked like he was going for a Kimura grip. Don't think he has it, though.
Dalton
might be going for his own.
Now applies that Kimura grip. Hansen's hand has been steady.
Oh, Hansen's in a tough spot right now. He's tapping. That's
tapping.
it.
He's
Looks
tapping.
like a tap is there. Lane Dalton crowned the amateur welterweight champion. What a win for the fighter out of Idaho.
That was even Dan Severn-esque. Very impressive.
Closes distance,
Fast.
wraps up the Kimura, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was an Americana. I apologize. No, it was a Kimura. I apologize.
you know, that was impressive, though. He put him right against his back, right against the cage, rode him to the ground. Same thing, executed. You can tell he'd been working on it.
We talked about the power being plentiful. Most certainly showed it there. Lane Dalton only has one recorded loss. He also has a no contest from when he expelled out of the cage alongside Kamuela Mamone.
Oh, I forgot about that. Landed on his
that all being
back,
said,
and it was, yeah.
Hasn't lost since September of 2023 and is going to have another successful night right now. It looks like we got the finish as well, presented by R&R Barbecue. Kind of a tough angle to see, but Eric, we got it.
It just shows like a lot of patience here. Also, watch, because he turns the corner because it's real hard to get that arm right there where he turns the corner to get him away from the cage, get a little bit of space so he can close that in, so he can lock that down.
Looks like we're just about ready to belt the winner. Here's Hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selyuset has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 24 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to a Kimura. And new undisputed welterweight champion, Lane Dalton.
All right, let's go. All right, Lane, I know you were scheduled to fight a couple months ago for the title. You get your opportunity tonight and you make quick work of it. How you feeling, man?
I feel pretty good, man. I just got out of elk hunting season, was a little worried about the cardio, and guess I didn't need it tonight.
So did you get an elk to go with the title?
No, I missed 2.
So you make quick work of it. When are we going to see you back in the cage to defend your title?
I don't know, whenever they want me.
I think we can make it happen real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up your winner and new Fierce FC welterweight champ, Lane Dalton. Congratulations. Quick work, baby.
Come on, check this out. Check this out.
Hey Fierce fans, Kimball Davis here with Prime Labs. We are now the official lab testing partner for all of Fierce Fighting Championships fighters. We provide a combat trio for all fighters across the Wasatch Front, as well as if you want to get in the best shape like one of your favorite fighters, we provide many comprehensive blood panels. All you have to do is click on the link or text 385-645-7400.
Whether you're a fighter or just someone that wants to take charge of their own care and looking to address a lack of sleep, fat gain, or even muscle growth, Prime Labs has different panels for all financial situations. So please shoot us a text at 385-645-7400, scan the QR code, or please go to the website and come check us out.
Wow, Lane Dalton, fast finish for the amateur welterweight strap. Donnie Wegner, David Kim kick off the pro stint of this card. Should be a good one. Let's get inside to Jackson to jumpstart it.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is brought to you by FST Filtration, the official air filter of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our next 2 fighters, Donnie Wegner and then David Kim, to the cage.
Another Agima op for the out-of-towner, Donnie Wegner. Eric, he was in the driver's seat for the majority of his last matchup, but been on quite a journey to get back here tonight.
Well, we're going to be interested to see, you know, an 0-4 record. Where has he gone? What has he worked on? How has he improved? We're about to find out.
He contracted a staph infection after some gym hopping and a heavy competition schedule in his time away since his last fight in November of 2024, which hospitalized him this summer. He later got pneumonia. Jason, the same stem that Ben Askren went through. Luckily, his body responded to the treatment well. 10 days after being released from the hospital, he was competing again and won all of his jiu-jitsu matches. So really quite the journey to get back into this spot, able and ready to fight.
Yeah, happy to see him rebound here. One thing we know from seeing him fight in the past is he's all gas, no brakes. This kid's going to bring it at least for the first and second round. We'll see if David will be able to combat that.
Such crisp entries by him to takedowns when we saw 2 for 2, and again, a lot of control time. He felt his knee pop in the second round and spent the next 6 months recouping that injury. Donnie Wegner, now out of Jay Page's BJJ and Flow MMA in Arizona, currently studying sociology at ASU with hopes of heading to law school in the near future. David Kim has been no stranger to success inside of the Fierce Cage. Well, guys, he has been no stranger to success inside the Fierce Cage, but following a pro debut loss in May, Slim Kim has pulled out all the stops for this sophomore showing.
Well, this is probably a good matchup, right? We've got a guy 0-4. He's coming off of his. It's hard to predict what's going to happen here, right? We have a fast starter. I'm not super familiar with how David comes out starting, but I don't know. We're going to see.
Jason, he has so many tools and has a high ceiling, obviously been a lifelong martial artist in there. And again, like mentioned, has really done everything to make sure that he secures his first victory tonight. You called it a must-win earlier on.
Yeah, I think it's a must-win for him. This is a guy, he lays it all on the table, well-rounded into jiu-jitsu, well-rounded everywhere. He's a martial artist. He's passionate. He's passionate about being a martial artist. He owns some gyms locally here in Utah. He's a fan favorite. He's a broadcast favorite. What is there not to like about David Kim? And did I hear David Slim Kim? Is that his nickname?
That used to be his nickname.
Okay, because yes. I'm like, I've never heard that before, but I kind of like it's got a nice ring to it.
Here's your tail of the tape, courtesy of R&R Barbecue. Wegner in his 30s, late 20s for the local David Kim. No advantage on paper in terms of height, and a half-pound contrast on the scale. First pro win pens between the pair. All ready to go. Let's get you set with hooks.
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds and is a professional 130-pound catchweight bout. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 0 wins and 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 130 pounds. Fighting out of Jay Page's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Flow MMA, hailing from Phoenix, Arizona, by way of Redlands, California, Donnie Bones Wegner. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 129 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Agima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from Spanish Fork, Utah, by way of Farmington, Utah, David Kim. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge, Tyler Tomlinson.
Tyler Tomlinson, couple more assignments after this one, and Julian Ruiz alongside Shane Mistretta, Ruben Roundstone, and Mike Jones in the main event. Pro fight number 1 tonight is backed by FST Filtration, the official air filter of Fierce FC. Wegner in the red, white, and blue. Kim sports the black.
Don't blink in this one. I believe we're going to have a lot of scrambles. Fast-paced first round. No glove touch. Oh, there it is.
I was
He's
going
like,
to say
"Wait a
they
minute."
agreed to it before I saw him. Kim looks really focused.
Swivels his head in and out so quickly. Wegner calm, composed, doesn't look like he's been away from the cage for just about a year.
I'm here for the grappling exchanges. Nice up kick by Wegner.
Chopped the chin for sure of Kim. Big overhand right bitted by the Agima fighter and an inside leg kick to follow.
Good defense by Wegner there.
Wagner looks like he's got a size advantage over Kim.
Height, it's interesting. I'd be interested to see what they weighed in today.
Kim's under the chin there.
I do know Kim cut a substantial amount of weight last night specifically. Able to rehydrate back up this evening. Talking to Donnie Wegner mentioned to me as well that he has turned and transformed into a completely different fighter with that monumental move out to Arizona alongside Jay Pages, who has been integral to his growth.
And Wagner fought a training partner of David Kim and Chris Anderson, so a little familiarity in the training room for Kim to have somebody that's already fought Wagner.
Also been getting some work in earlier this week at Factum in Sandy, Utah.
Beautiful takedown defense by Kim to reverse that position.
Yeah, it was really smooth how he pivoted out and then put Wegner right against the cage.
This is a great scramble.
Kim, such a high-level grappler where he does his best work, but a couple of knees brought inside as well with just 1 minute to go, or I apologize, we are at 5-minute rounds for this one. That is likely a mishap by Pat's Media.
Big overhand there.
Bidded for a couple of those already, Eric.
That was a slick trip by
That was
Wegner.
very slick. He's been picking the ankle of Kim. They've both been
quick-witted,
scrappy.
As Kim finds himself on bottom. Haven't seen him here a whole lot throughout his career.
No, we have not. And he's working his way to get up against the cage right now and work his way up.
Nice work by Kim to find his way to the top and now nearly wrap the neck.
That was a great scramble.
I was expected to see this in this fight. Both jiu-jitsu guys. A nice knee to the body by Kim.
Jason, you wanted scrambles, you're getting them.
Right now, Kim a little more active when they're up against the cage in close quarters.
Well, I like that Kim isn't accepting being against the cage, right? He's reversing, he's getting Wegner against the cage instead of just accepting the position and working a takedown defense.
Yeah, Kim just threw the little back elbow a la Joe Haro there up against the cage. Just missed, but he threw it.
I was going to say, Jason, you go ahead and take that one.
Yeah. we looked over at each other. We saw that one coming.
Joe Haro, a new integral piece to that Agima room, been so special in helping David Kim fill into this pro frame. Nice top shelf kick lands for Wegner. Big swing and a miss by Kim. Looks for a trip of his own. More knees by the Agima fighter.
Kim looks really good tonight.
He looks great.
That first pro bout, there was quite a size discrepancy alongside Jeremy Santiago. Was dropped once and then knocked out with just a few seconds remaining in round number one. Big time head kick lands there for Wegner. To a round 2 we go, quite competitive through 5.
Yeah, great back and forth. Like I said, I felt like I mentioned it earlier, David was throwing a little more punches, knees to the body, knees to the head, a little more activity from Kim, but Donnie had some good moments as well.
That head kick right there at the end, that could have been very dangerous.
And David, or I apologize, Jason, we called Donnie's fight in November of last year, and though he did render quite nicely, specifically with his grappling chops, looks better on the feet this time around.
Yeah, he looks really good on the feet tonight. And I'm actually very impressed. He's definitely made some improvements.
Felt like he was a single rider headed into his last fierce walk this time around again. Jay Pages being such a big impact on him. Solid first 5 minutes. David Kim will look to try to muster something up. Also had some shining moments as we head into round number 2.
There's the glove touch.
Wegner just wanted to scrap.
I think they both just kind of shot out, and it maybe caught him off guard a little bit.
Donnie really eyeing that high kick now. Now searching for that submission. David Kim finds the neck. Wegner creates a scramble.
David used that reversal in the first round as well.
Kim, a jiu-jitsu purple belt. Some may say an overqualified one at that. Same can be said about Donnie Wegner.
Well, Donnie gets the takedown.
Couple of peppered in shots to the body in favor of Donnie. Just about 90 seconds into round number 2. As Kim might look to utilize that cage, but heavy are the hips of Donnie Wegner.
He ended up pushing off the cage, kind of sliding himself away. I'm not sure that's the result he was looking for.
Not a whole lot of offense garnered up. Tyler Tomlinson separates the two, says he needs to see a little bit more action.
I like it.
I do too.
Jason, so evenly matched and such similar styles.
Yeah, very similar in styles. This is so who can impose whose will. David made a slight mistake there. Now Donnie's on his back.
Nice work to get out of that sand trap by Kim as he'll enter in for his own.
Beautiful entry by David Kim, and now he's on Wagner's back.
That duck under was so smooth.
Kim, a 6-1 amateur from 2021 to 2025, recorded 4 submission victories as an amateur. Looks to peel on the face. Wegner being quite stubborn, Eric.
We have a minute and a half. There's still a lot of time to be able to try to put together a submission.
Wegner rotates Kim, looks to isolate that arm.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
He is so good at finding a limb and separating it.
Donnie doing all the right things, stepping over. Oh, David's got the arm. You're a jiu-jitsu guy. This is a phenomenal match if you like watching jiu-jitsu.
If you're not a jiu-jitsu guy, this is a phenomenal match. It's still super entertaining.
If David could break that, grip, he could have an arm lock here.
We saw something similar alongside Lance Regenball in his final amateur fight.
Might be short time. Donnie he's got his hands connected at the moment. I don't think David's going to be able to break that grip.
He's got a figure 4. I just can't see where his legs are.
Tough spot to be.
You know, here I'd like to see Kim do exactly that. Just elbow him until the end.
Solid close to round 2 for David Kim. Going to be interesting headed into the third.
Yeah, I would have to say slight edge for David Kim in the first and second round. David finished that second round beautifully. On top, submission attempts.
Finished dominant, finished with some elbow strikes.
Over alongside Dana Aristizabal and Court McGee. Eric, how much energy expenditure was that for David Kim trying to separate that limb, find an arm lock of some sort, and get out of this one?
A lot, but I mean, if we're looking at Wegner's body position here, he doesn't look like he's a lot fresher. That could be very telling in who takes this away here, right?
Yeah. A lot of scrambles, a lot of mixing it up.
And scrambling is exhausting because there's nowhere to stop and catch your breath.
It has been a lot of action specifically in the grappling, like you mentioned, Jason. The jiu-jitsu fans have certainly got their money's worth on this one.
This has been a fun match. Both guys fun to watch.
It's what so many people expected when we saw this one on paper. Final 5 minutes to decide this one. David Kim in the red gloves, blue gloves for Donnie Wegner.
Somebody just called Wegner Matthew McConaughey behind us.
I can see it.
I can see it.
We had Dan Severn. We got Matthew McConaughey. Nice timing on the uppercut, and there's that head kick again.
Lots of sauce.
David walked right into that.
On those strikes from Wegner to the midsection again.
Sorry, that entrance right there could have been very, very problematic for Kim.
A little bit of showmanship from Donnie Wegner.
Yeah, I think he's got David hurt a little bit. That's like 3 kicks up the middle now he's hit David with. Either he's playing possum or he's hurt. But he's not coming forward like he was, and he's breathing heavy up against the cage.
Not a whole lot of action out of the Provo fighter, Donnie Wegner.
Those kicks are effective right now from Donnie Wegner.
Filling up with confidence.
He's hurt.
That one looked like it went right in, split the gloves.
Down is Kim. Donnie is up. What a win. First professional for Donnie Wegner.
The timing of that knee was special.
Those kicks were effective. He walked right into a kick about 30 to 60 seconds before that. He walked into a kick that I think hurt him.
Well, and he timed Kim as Kim was coming down, caught him with that knee.
Comes over to the booth, says I was hurt last year. Talking about that matchup with Chris Anderson, says I can take any 25er. Showed out nicely there. That is David Kim, a 6-1 amateur who seemed unbeatable for a lot of his amateur career.
Well, and like Wegner said, he was hurt last year. He's definitely not hurt this year. He was very patient, a lot of scrambles. That was a really good showing for Wegner.
We got the finishing sequence right here presented by R&R Barbecue.
So he's just kind of throwing one at a time, but then you watch one of these kicks comes right there to the body, to the head, and then one of them comes right up the middle, that one. So that one hurt him. He comes in with the uppercut, but watch as he's coming down, he throws a knee right there, and that finishes it.
So the first pro bout will go to Donnie Wegner. He was 0-4 headed into this one, and that might have been the best 0-4 guy in the entire country with the way he showed out tonight.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, my goodness.
He did not look 0-4. But, you know, sometimes there's circumstances. There's things that happen when you're getting ready, you know, health issues. I had staph once for a fight, like not very long before a fight. It's rough.
Looks as though Donnie Wegner is about to notch his first professional win. We got Hoops to make it official.
Fierce Fans referee Tyler Tomlinson has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 7 seconds of the third round, declaring the winner by TKO, Donnie Bones Wegner.
Got your mouthpiece out?
All right, it's out. It's out.
All right, let's do it. All right, Donnie Wegner. Donnie, big win tonight. You come up here to Salt Lake. You get in the win column. How you feeling, man?
First, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Second, first responders, veterans, law enforcement, thank you for everything you guys do. But to come over here to Lake, it's tough, man. You guys are tough out here. Elevation, badass show, a bunch of talent. It's hard to deal with. It's a lot of pressure.
I want to take a look at the replay. I don't know if you can see it up here on this screen up here, but walk me through that replay real quick.
So I felt him dipping his head because I was throwing those hard high leg kicks. And so instead of throwing a left leg kick, I threw a left knee instead. But I was just chipping away with those teeps to the body. He has a gas tank, so we knew we had to attack the body, slow him down. You know what I mean? So we just, I think I felt it more than anything, just being like aware in the cage and just, going after it, letting it fly.
Well, you get in the win column. What's next for you? We're going to see you back in the cage again up here.
I'm healthy, whoever they have for me. Last year I fought Chris Anderson. I blew my LCL in the fight. So I've been out. It's been about a year since I fought. But, we're healthy. So, if Zach knows who he wants, just give me a call.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Donnie Wegner.
Here at Rocky Mountain Power, we're dedicated to delivering the safe, reliable power you count on. We're proud of our industry-leading reliability, but we're always pushing to do better. That's why we're out working every day to ensure that everything is operating smoothly and ready for all seasons, from winter weather to summer heat and everything in between. It's all part of honoring our commitment to you and delivering the power you need. See how we make it happen at rockymountainpower.net/reliability.
Hey Fierce fans, Kibble Davis here with Prime Labs. We are now the official lab testing partner for all of Fierce Fighting Championships fighters. We provide a combat trio for all fighters across the Wasatch Front, as well as if you want to get in the best shape like one of your favorite fighters, we provide many comprehensive blood panels. All you have to do is click on the link or text 385-645-7400.
Whether you're a fighter or just someone that wants to take charge of their own care and looking to address a lack of sleep, fat gain, or even muscle growth, Prime Labs has different panels for all financial situations. So please shoot us a text at 385-645-7400, scan the QR code, or please go to the website and come check us out.
Scan the QR code on your screen for access to Fierce FC's digital program. Get the inside scoop on every fighter making the walk tonight, as well as additional information on future shows. Couple of first-round finishers. Shane Mistretta, Julian Ruiz, they are up next, and they are cannot miss. Let's bring them out with Hoops.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is brought to you by Rockwell Watches, the official watch and sunglasses of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our next two fighters, Shane Mistretta and then Julian Ruiz, to the cage.
Trying to make it 2 in a row on the road is Shane Mistretta. Eric, a promoter's dream when we refer to the 100% first-round finish rate, 4-2 in less than 2 years into his pro stint.
Yeah, and coming in from Florida, that's a tall task, right? You're coming out of state. You don't have any fans cheering for you. You have to have some confidence to do that.
really worked his strength and conditioning this year. He has leaned out and increased so much muscle mass in comparison to last year. Jason, that obviously isn't the biggest thing, but it is most certainly something to take note of headed into this one.
Yeah, he looks in phenomenal shape right now. How will the elevation play a factor with him coming from Florida, coming out here to Utah? Is that going to play a factor?
5 of his 6 pro bouts have closed inside the first 5 minutes. Hasn't been to a decision since his last amateur fight in November of 2023. Shane Mistretta out of Florida, such an impressive talent. He'll await Julian Ruiz. Little bit of a delay, but back towards the cage is Julian Ruiz. Jason, couple of consecutive losses with a lot to answer for. Point blank, can one of Utah's top prospects get back to his winning ways this evening?
I think he can bounce back, man. He looks good. He looks in good shape tonight, and he's big. He's another guy that's big for this weight class.
Julian Ruiz, everything seemed to be going right in January. Just got caught in this game of inches last time out. Eric said he got greedy and began to throw too heavy, trying to find that kill shot.
Well, and in a stand-up war, it's about seconds and millimeters, right? And that can make the difference. And sometimes you get caught. You can be the better fighter and take a bad shot. It happens.
Won a boxing match in June versus William Worthlin, a second-round TKO. Has always had such steady striking. All of his MMA fights, amateur and pro, have taken place in his home state of Utah. Julian Ruiz, the fighter out of the Pit SLC. He is one of the top names throughout the entirety of the Beehive State. Excited to see him back inside the fierce cage. 150 for these two. Here's your tail of the tape. Mistretta, 3 years younger, same height, and a slight lean to Shane in weight, as identical 4-2 records go toe-to-toe. Should be a barn burner. Hoops is inside to turn the key.
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds and is a professional 150-pound catch weight bout. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 4 wins and 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 150 pounds. Fighting out of Treasure Coast Cartel, hailing from Port St. Lucie, Florida, Shane Mistretta! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, also holding a professional record of 4 wins and 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 149 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of the Pit SLC, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah, King Julian Ruiz. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge, Tyler Tomlinson.
Tyler Tomlinson inside to referee this one. Julian Ruiz opposite Shane Mistretta at 150 pounds is put on with the support of Rockwell, designers of the official Champions Watch of Fierce FC. Ruiz in the white, Mistretta reacts in the black. Big swinging kick to start things off for the Florida fighter. Nice shot for Mistretta to close distance right over in the corner of Ruiz.
Well, if you look at Mistretta's right ear, it looks like it's all the way closed, like you can't hear out of it. He has done a bunch of grappling somewhere.
He's trying to implement that right now.
Barrington Bishop over in his corner, Fierce Fighting Championship 33 alum, defeated Johan Rubio last year in what was a dominant grappling match, but Ruiz gets himself up top.
Little bit of a tactical error there with Mistretta. He got himself flat, and Ruiz was able to turn into him and get into the top position.
Ruiz's wrestling roots stem from Vernal, Utah, where he grew up. Big-time sport out there in eastern Utah. Some activity on bottom by Mistretta to create a scramble. Ruiz stays the man up top.
He might have had a chance, but I think his foot got caught in Ruiz's shorts there. As he might have been able to create enough space to get away there.
Well, and I was thinking the same thing. Ruiz, I thought, would want to hip into him, so they may have got caught up in a weird exchange there.
Nice short elbow lands on the far side of your screen for Ruiz.
Ruiz trying to make him pay.
Back up to the feet. Mistretta wants to continue to wrestle.
Yeah, that's the game plan from Mistretta.
Well, Mistretta executed exactly what his corner told him.
Just heard over in the Treasure Coast Cartel corner. Don't rush this. Let's pin him.
And he's doing just that, too. Smothering top pressure right now from Mistretta.
Ruiz has certainly found so much of his success in the stand-up with his crisp combinations.
Mistretta's corner calling for a crucifix there. Mistretta might be looking for.
I'm not sure what Ruiz's strategy is here. He's kind of swimming around that arm, but he needs to either create some space, maybe get that right arm into the left armpit of Mistretta and hip up and try to buck him off.
Looked for a few frames, but more than anything, been protecting with that left knee from getting over to the mount.
And he's got that hook around Ruiz. That is a tough position to get out of.
Well, it is a tough position, but you only have to worry about one thing hitting you too, right?
Correct.
So if he locks that hand in and swims or tries to create some space, he should be able to try to do something. What Murrietta's doing a really good job of, though, is he's got that arm around his body, so Ruiz can't scoot his hips away, which he really needs to do to get out of this.
Mistretta,
there it is,
with a few knees to the body. Gets back in the guard of Ruiz. Now some punishing elbows. This is where he does so much damage, is his ruthless ground and pound. Some blood seeping from the bridge of the nose. Couple of big swings to close it out for Ruiz, but Shane Mistretta found himself on top for so much of round number one.
Yeah, dominant so far from Mistretta with his wrestling and jiu-jitsu right now. Doesn't look like he's got a cut on his head. Can't tell.
On the bridge of his nose,
Bridge of his nose, is that what it is?
Our man Sam Gaffney trying to stop the bleeding. Might be a bit of a distraction, not in a great spot, Eric, but also not the worst.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on how the striking goes from here, right? If Ruiz is putting that jab maybe into that nose and trying to push it over, you know, it's definitely not in the worst spot.
A solid round one by him. More than anything wants to grapple, and we saw for a very small window that if that man can get to a spot where he can ground and pound, he's very dangerous.
He's looking for it. You could hear his corner. They were calling for a crucifix. They're calling for shots. They're calling for elbows.
Well, and if he does get a crucifix, that could drastically change this fight, like quickly.
Ruiz trying to jump back into the win column. Mistretta, only his second time in the second round as a professional.
Good body kick.
That was hard.
There's another.
Couple of nice rips as Ruiz tries to hit a home run on that one. Go ahead, Eric. I apologize.
No, that was my fault. He threw the body kick and then slipped. I thought he might come back in with a shot. I'd like to see Ruiz a little bit busier, especially right here where he was in a less than favorable position in that first round for most of it.
Mistretta put so much sauce on that one. Hit air as Ruiz was privy to it.
Ruiz was like, I'm fine, let's go.
It looked a lot on the belt line to me.
Yeah, he didn't complain about it. They got him. Mistretta got Ruiz biting on that feint.
Two high-level guys right now.
He didn't capitalize after he threw the feint, though.
Nice counter from Ruiz.
Connects cleanly up top. Cocks back the head of the Florida fighter. Now a head kick to go with it.
The head kick looked like it was partially blocked, and but it still looked like Mistretta was going down a little bit to me, and then he hooked the leg.
Now he's all over Ruiz again.
Yep.
Peel those hands off as Ruiz.
He needs to break that grip, take his left hand, swim around, turn towards
just like
him,
that.
just like that. Nice work.
Oh, Ruiz almost locked that rear naked choke in there.
If he would have had that leg around, that would have.
Yeah, would have.
That could have been very tight.
A lot of action and now inverted. Ruiz on top. Punishes the body of Mistretta in this prime position. 2.5 minutes to go, round two.
I think he's isolating that arm. If I'm Ruiz, I'm isolating that arm.
Yeah, try to get that right leg in a better, maybe a little bit better position. Pull that arm out for an arm bar.
Completely muted on the bottom is Mistretta as Ruiz continues to pile on the punches.
Well, and Mistretta should be able to push off that cage and get his head out here, I would think. Well, his arm's in too, I guess. So that does make it a little bit harder, but I mean, here he needs to push and try to get out of this.
Tough spot. Tyler Tomlinson starting to peek around and look for some defense as Mistretta will work his way out, but Ruiz right back on top of it.
And hitting hard right there.
This is where Ruiz is dangerous, but nothing really landing too solid. Shane kind of evaded a lot of those shots.
Yeah, he just took that shot, shook his head.
He didn't take that one very well.
That one was clean on the chin. Good head movement from Mistretta while he was against the cage, and then he shoots.
Well, Ruiz is making him pay now, though. I'm Ruiz. I'm going back to a couple knees to the body if I'm Ruiz.
This is a good round for Ruiz.
Very good round. Way to bounce back because he clearly lost that first round.
Mistretta starts to crumble. Under a minute to go in this round.
And Ruiz has got to be careful here not to empty the tank.
Julian digs deep to the body. Mistretta stays upright.
Just heard Ruiz's corner tell him to be patient.
That's what I'm saying. He's landed shots, but it's usually one clean one, and then he's landed four. He's missing the 4 or 5.
Like to see him set that kick up, throw a jab, and then that right kick.
He just landed an overhand on Ruiz.
Such high level by these two. Mistretta stays upright, and we got a third and final between these two who have been so evenly matched.
Yeah, and this could be 1-1 going into the third round. Mistretta bent over going into the corner there.
Mistretta's corner's really slow to get up there to help him.
One-man crew and Barrington Bishop over in the corner of Julian Ruiz, who got a whole lot more wind in his sail in that second frame. Ramsey Nijum alongside Dane Aristizabal.
I think the confidence of Ruiz coming into this third round.
Like to see him set those shots up a little bit better and pick his shots a little more effectively in this third round. He may be able to get the finish.
Really steady ground and pound as well in that one inverted spot, and then a few more up on the feet as well.
Yeah, he definitely made Shane pay in that second round for any slight mistake he made. He was paying for it.
Third and final, brought to you by Rockwell, the official Champions Watch of Fierce FC. Blake O'Rulian alongside Eric Iman, Jason Laporte as well, live from FightCon. Happy to have you with us. Co-main event and main event are on deck next as we are in our pro portion of the card. Mistretta makes a miss, also makes him pay for it. 20 seconds in, we are back to grappling as Mistretta is the aggressor.
Hit a good angle on the exit there and then shot immediately back in.
Quite the reversal by Ruiz.
That was just horsepower right there.
Speedy as well.
These are heavy shots for Ruiz.
Impressive over 10 minutes into this bout.
I think he can land that head kick if he just sets something up with his hands first. Distract him with his hands and then go to that head kick. I think he could get it.
Exchanging body kicks. So one thing about Ruiz is he just keeps coming forward. He just keeps marching forward. Very heavy-handed too.
Heavy-handed. Volume has always been a big tool of his as well. We remember the Cody Hammond win in March of 2023. Ruiz's last win was in March of 2024 alongside Desmond Manabat. Been about a year and a half since he's gotten his hand raised. Has 3.5 minutes to change that course right now.
This is anybody's fight.
Yeah, it could definitely come down to who wins this round.
Round one, a lot of control time for the Florida fighter and Shane Mistretta. Round number two, so much striking output by the local Julian Ruiz. Stalemated early on in this final frame.
Mistretta's wearing more damage.
Yeah, and Ruiz is kind of taking over the third round. He's bringing the fight to him. Cage control right now going to Ruiz.
Nice chop to the midsection for Mistretta. Another one to follow.
There's that head kick, Eric.
Just a little setup there, and I think that's got it.
Quick blitz by Shane. Ruiz shakes it off. Big time blow lands for Julian Ruiz. Follows up with a kick to the body.
Nice combination.
Those are hard shots. Julian says, come on.
I like how he threw that left hook and that right uppercut. That was good timing.
Elevation might be hurting Shane right now. He's taking some deep breaths. He looks exhausted in there. He did a lot of wrestling in those first 2 rounds.
Ruiz stayed calm, composed, patient with his strikes. Nice close inside for Mistretta. Ruiz privy to it. Still a lot of venom on those shots as Shane claps the body. Big windup. Checks the midsection in favor of Ruiz. Mistretta still staying up, but a couple of clean targets to the chin in favor of the Salt Lake fighter.
Mistretta is tough as nails.
That left hook looked really clean for
It did.
Always been such a talented striker, specifically a boxer. We see it with his stance. And these final 5 minutes have been crucial for him.
Well,
we will see.
Let's go. They're like, no. Ruiz is like, no.
Somebody's got to start throwing.
Ruiz said, I think I'm winning this fight. I'm not going to do this.
I think that is reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean,
so we will see what the judges decide. Shane Mistretta tries to get 2 in a row for him. He is 1-1 thus far in 2025. And again, so impressive when we talk about the output of bouts he has had. As for that man, Julian Ruiz, trying to get back in the win column, his first win since March of 2024. Couple of embraces alongside Ramsey Nijum, his longtime coach, and Dana Aristizabal. Still up in the air, but Eric, really, really solid final frame for that man right there.
Yeah, my opinion, Ruiz did enough to take it. You know, he was busier in the third. The second round was all his. I definitely think Mistretta probably took the first.
Round 2, lots of ground and pound. Round 3, a whole lot of successful boxing. But Shane Mistretta, certainly a name worth tracking out of Treasure Coast Cartel in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Happy to have him out here. He is the longest distance traveler to show face on this card. Happy to have him alongside Barrington Bishop, again, a Fierce FC alum of his own. Julian Ruiz has had his chin tested to the highest degree in back-to-back fights alongside Brian Zurcher in a PFL appearance in June of 2024, as well as Abijah Meheula in January of this year at Fierce FC 43. Was supposed to fight earlier on this year, had a drop-off just a few days out from the fight. That being said, he gets to show a full 15 minutes tonight, and we'll see if he gets his hand raised.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 30-27, 29-27, and 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, King Julian Ruiz.
You got to come to my good side, Julian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the winner, Julian Ruiz. Julian, how does it feel to be back in the winner's circle, man?
Oh, it feels great, man. I've competed like 9 times since my last MMA fight, and I've got my hand raised every single time. You know, it's not like me to not get the win, but I got overzealous in my last couple fights. Matter of fact, I almost did it right now, but that was my biggest thing is, you know, staying focused and being aware, you know, and being patient. You know, my speed, my patience, and my focus was my 3 main things I was focusing on.
You executed them beautifully tonight. Were you expecting the heavy wrestling pressure from him in those first 2 rounds?
I expect it from everybody. Nobody gonna stand with me. Come on now. Everybody shoots, you know. They say they're gonna strike with me. I know. I've seen it. I've been watching him for a minute. You know, I knew he was getting ready to strike, but just like every other striker I fight, all of a sudden they, you know, they become wrestlers. Stuff. Maybe my last guy, that fool was tough, you know. He stood and banged with me for a little bit, but everybody else, you know, they all shoot. So, you know, I'm a shooter though. I got good aim. That's my boss. You know, we went to the range the other day, and I got some pretty good aim.
Well, congratulations on a beautiful performance, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for your winner, Julian Ruiz.
I just want to give a big thanks, first and foremost, thanks to God for letting me be here and letting me and my opponent be all right. I want to say another thanks to my coaches, Ramsey, he's like my big brother, he's like another father in a way, I don't want to get emotional, so I'm going to change the subject there, I love that fucking dude, and then my family. My girlfriend, she supports me and she deals with me. It's pretty hard to deal with the fighter. So, baby, I know you're out there somewhere. I love you. And thanks to all my sponsors right here on my shirt. I got a lot of them, so I'm not going to take the time to shout them all out. But you guys should read them. I'll put you on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me, KingJ_100K. Thanks to Zach for putting this together. My boy Cody, where you at? Appreciate you, my boy. Yeah, I told you I'd come out. Again, I'm never happy when I don't get a finish, but I'm happy with that win. I think I might have broke my hand as well, or else I would have been kind of a little bit more harder. I was pretty good at hiding shit. But yeah, thank you for all you guys for coming out. For those who bought tickets for me, again, thanks to my sponsors. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I do. But I'm gonna let the mic to somebody else. Everybody have a good night. Might have an after party. Might get fucked up later.
Give it up for Julian Ruiz.
Your brand, on the move, wherever life takes you, seen in the rush of adrenaline, in the freedom of the ride, in the heights of adventure, and the thrill of new perspectives. No limits, no borders, just your brand reaching new heights. Wherever the journey takes you, your business deserves to be seen. JC Pro Design, wherever you go, make it visible.
Come on, check this out. Check this out.
Gotta love a post-fight interview alongside Julian Ruiz. Always lets his hair down. Well, the co-main corner's Chris Chu, who has competed 8 times in 18 months, stacked alongside an all-time comeback and showing for Josiah Simpson in April. Undeniable durability versus unshakable grit. We've got 15 minutes to decide who is who.
Fierce fans, make some noise for Josiah Simpson!
Chris Chu is like a freight train, man. He will fight anybody, anytime, any place, and he is never out of a fight.
An established name who might be new to a lot of Fierce fans.
Fierce fans, make some noise for Chris Chu!
A red broadcast booth as Simpson now seems to be rolling downhill.
Boogeyman who? Boogeyman who? Fierce fans, our co-main event of the evening is brought to you by FightCon. Join us here at the Salt Palace for FightCon's Combat Sports Expo, October 3rd and October 4th, with tickets available at FightConExpo.com. Please welcome our next 2 fighters, Josiah Simpson and then Chris Chu, to the cage.
Well, fans will certainly file in for that man after the Fierce debut. Here is Josiah Simpson. Jason, it was an all-time comeback coupled with one of the best matchups of the year. Now trying tonight for his third straight.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal in that match against Alden. A little slow start in the first round. I know he was critical of our commentating, and I'm not going to argue with him about it because he came away with the victory, and he looked phenomenal in it. Really excited to see him tonight.
Eric, noteworthy durability. Took everything Alden had and kept coming forward in April.
He kept coming forward. He was very patient. When he started hitting some angles, he was able to stop Alden. Alden's very tough, too. I was super, super impressed by Josiah.
Josiah Simpson won 4 of his last 5. Jason, a 100% finish rate. 8 of his last 9 have not seen a second round.
He is on a roll. He's on a tear right now. I mean, he could be next up for a title shot after this.
Certainly becoming a boogeyman with each and every walk. That is the new coined nickname. Started up by Zach Partridge, who called his opposition, Alden Ashcraft, the boogeyman. Now he takes it for himself. Josiah Simpson, the 4-2 fighter out of Southern Utah. And Eric, looking for his third win of 2025, hasn't been able to triple up his victories since 2019.
Well, that's a pretty busy schedule, especially at a 205er, because they take some damage, and he took some damage against Alden, but it shows how durable and tough he is.
So much fun last time out. We'll await Chris Chu with Josiah Simpson inside. Well, we've missed him here at home. Back for Pro Walk number 8 is Chris Chu. Eric, he's teetered between wins and losses over the past year, but one of the most active names in the state.
He's been very busy. I remember calling the fight with you when he fought Cole. I really thought he should have probably taken a little more time off after that because he took a lot of ground and pound. Very, very busy schedule, but sometimes you need a break. But, who knows? He's at the pit. Great camp. They know what they're doing.
No doubt about it. Always been aiming for more cage time. Jason, his 8th fight in 18 months. He's averaged a fight every 66 days since becoming a pro in April of 2024.
Yeah, super active and as tough as they come, man. If he gets you to the ground and gets on top of you, it's over.
Chris Chu, the fighter out of the Pit SLC, moved back over there earlier this year. Had a lot of success with that crew earlier on in his amateur days. What a matchup at middleweight. Chu is going to be 1 year older. Simpson 1 inch taller. No issues on the square last night as a 5th win sits in the balance. A good one in front of us. Inside to start us off is Jackson.
Fierce fans, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the professional middleweight division. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 4 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Empire MMA and Fusion MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. Hailing from Cedar City, Utah, by way of Parowan, Utah, Josiah the Boogeyman Simpson. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 4 wins and 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed in at 186 pounds. Fighting out of the Pit SLC, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah, Chris Chu. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge, Dave Selyusted.
Final assignment for Dave Selyusted in this middleweight matchup, brought to you in association with FightCon, bringing you the biggest combat sports event in Utah of 2025. Chris Chu in the gray, Josiah Simpson throws in black.
Chris Chu wanted to take the fight to the ground.
Most definitely where he finds so much of his offense. Simpson trying to find his way out of a grappling exchange alongside the Salt Lake fighter. Josiah Simpson finds his way to the top. Not sure that was on a whole lot of people's bingo cards, Eric.
Yeah, usually, excuse me, sorry, that question was for you, Eric. I was just going to answer it for you. I was usually the Chu's the one taking people down.
Yeah, and I was thinking that too. Simpson really smooth with it. He's a brown belt. He's got the chops.
Simpson brushes off Chu for just a moment. Now in on that single leg attempt is Chu.
This is Chu's game, relentless.
Couple of elbows from the top as Chu.
And those are hard elbows. I don't even think Chu blinked in those.
Staying stubborn on that single leg.
Is there ever a time that Chris Chu is not stubborn with the takedown attempt? He is relentless.
Simpson searches for that submission. Got a high elbow position. Again, like Eric mentioned, a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Chris Chu never been submitted in his career.
And that's tight.
Thumbs up from Chu.
He's bleeding.
Nice teep to the body and a massive elbow lands.
Walked right into that elbow.
Chu goes down, but still in this fight.
He is too tough for his own good. I'm surprised Dave's letting this go.
First round finish. A seismic strike puts down Chu. Josiah Simpson, sensational.
The timing of that elbow was beautiful.
Josiah Simpson with maybe the finish of the year, fellas.
He just steamrolled Chris Chu.
Have we seen Chu get finished that fast?
He has never been out to that extent. We'll see it again right now.
I mean, that was just about as brutal as they come.
And Chu, the timing was just perfect. Chu stepped in, and Josiah stepped in at the same time through that overhand elbow. The elbow came up over the shoulder. Beautiful timing on that elbow.
As tough as they come, Josiah Simpson. What a win for him.
I'm a fan.
That is 3 in a row. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. I apologize, Eric. I am so speechless by that elbow.
It just shows how smooth, slow, smooth is fast. Not that that was necessarily slow, but the way the timing all just came together, it was just perfect, right?
The question was, what's it going to take for Josiah Simpson to be that next guy up in Utah? Seemed like a monumental moment for him. Let's crown it with hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selyeset has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 59 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Josiah the Boogeyman Simpson.
Sounds good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here with your winner, Josiah. Josiah, we're starting to make this a regular occurrence, you and I here in the cage doing these interviews. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. Salt Lake City, make some noise. Thank you all for being here. I love you guys so much. Hey, I'm not Utah born, but I was built here. Cedar City, Empire MMA, St. George, Fusion MMA, and Jiu-Jitsu. Those gyms made me who I am. They made me the fighter I am. So I love Utah. I'm going to represent Utah all the way to the UFC, baby. Let's go.
You just walked through a guy that's been tough as nails, dominated him tonight. I want to take a look at the screen right here, and I want you to walk me through that finish.
Jason, I'm going to keep doing that to every single person I fight until I get my shot in the UFC. Dana White, let's go. 5 wins, all finishes, 3 in a row, all knockouts, all finishes, knockouts, 1 submission. I'm ready. 31, I'm in the prime of my athletic career, and I'm ready to go. Let's go, baby.
Very impressive performance. Congratulations again. Give it up for your winner, Josiah Simpson.
Hi, I'm Jason Laporte, Fierce Fighting Championship commentator and General Sales Manager at Performance Honda in Bountiful. We are the fastest growing Honda dealership in the state, and we have one of the largest certified pre-owned inventories in the state of Utah. Our service department has master technicians with over 100 years experience collectively.
Bienvenidos a Performance Honda Bountiful, donde los atendemos en español y les ponemos una sonrisa todos los días.
Visit us at 2215 South 500 West or performancehondabountiful.com.
I'm looking over at Zach Partridge, and he just said, wow.
got the tap. Drake Anderton headed home with some hardware.
She was smiling while she was smashing her, and did I see Hannah Silva motion that she wanted a belt?
Micaiah August, debut successful. What a win for the prize fighter.
Amazing. How about that, huh?
Let's go! Hats off to Josiah Simpson, still speechless about that performance in the co-main event. Well, with a new name shaking up nearly every week in the lead up to tonight, Mike Jones has stayed steady. New opponents, no problem. Move up 2 weight classes, a green light from him. Ruben Roundstone sounds like something everyone can get behind.
Always electric and always answering the call regardless of opponent. Back for another is Ruben Roundstone.
From a 500 record 2 years ago to now the standard for fighters in the state. Stakes have never been higher than now for the incumbent.
He's a completely different person. Big win for Mike Jones. That's a huge win for Mike Jones.
This is make some noise for Ruben Bam Roundstone!
Yeah, this is a stacked card. This is the fight that I'm looking forward to. I know both of these fighters have had each other on their radars for a little bit now. Really excited to see this fight. Stacked card tonight. He has found his stride right now, and he is looking sharp.
Put your hands together and make some noise! Fierce fans, our main event of the evening is brought to you by R&R Barbecue, the official food vendor of Fierce Fighting Championship. Please welcome our final 2 fighters, Ruben Roundstone and then Mike Jones, to the cage.
Main event for one of the best walkouts at Fierce. Enter Ruben Roundstone. Eric, he's had some success in the Fierce cage, besting Utah mainstay Zeke Latu. Tonight, looks to lean into the size discrepancy opposite Mike Jones.
Yeah, I think he's going to need to utilize that size discrepancy to get one over on Jones, to be honest with you. Hats off to him for taking the fight. Sounds like it was kind of coming in late notice. He's tough, durable. He's got a submission win. He's got a couple of ways to win this fight.
Yeah, Jason, a jiu-jitsu purple belt, 80% of his wins have come by his submission threat. That's the thing that separated him from Zeke Latu. If he can do something again like that, specifically getting on top of the much smaller Mike Jones.
Yeah, that size advantage. If he's able to close the distance and get Jones down to the ground, we could see a submission tonight.
Ruben Roundstone, it has been quite a rocky road. He lost his infant son, Atlas, a few months after a long, hard battle with transaminitis. Ruben still keeps a smile despite it all. Talked to him a little bit yesterday, made sure that it was okay to share that, said that it would be great to give a little bit of a light to his beautiful son who fought so fervently for the entirety of his life. Has had a lot of success in MMA, obviously, but more primarily in BKFC. The Squared Circle is where he's found a home in most recent years.
Yeah, he's a fighter's fighter. He's not turning down any fights. Doesn't matter what weight class, he's ready to go. Well, I guess in his case, it does matter the weight class.
Yeah.
Ruben Roundstone inside main event slate as he'll await Mike Jones.
That was pretty athletic.
Pro walk, number 20 at heavyweight, enter Mike Jones. Jason, he hits that milestone with some still in the tank. An early exit last time out, but his boxing success gives evidence to his persisting pride.
Yeah, he's fast. He looks in phenomenal shape. I know this isn't his normal weight class, but he looks in phenomenal shape tonight.
Yeah, Eric, he told me that his diet hasn't changed much. Portion sizes have just increased. Made sure he was cleared above 206 last night. 212 for the majority of the camp. Tipped it last night at 214.
Well, it just shows dedication, right? He knew that he couldn't fill his body with garbage, even if he has to come up to heavyweight and expect to perform in the way that he wants. Really, I'm just shocked to see him without the beard. I haven't seen him without a beard in quite a while.
Almost didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Mike Jones alongside Jeremy Horn, his wife Brittany Jones, seen just moments ago, and Craig Ross in the corner out of Elite Performance in Sandy, Utah. 35 years of age, his 20th pro fight, and he has been a pillar of this state for so many years. And now we're seeing a lot of success as well in the bare knuckle ring.
Yeah, he's looked phenomenal in bare knuckle. He's still got stuff left in the tank, even at 35 years of age. Big win tonight. Maybe him against Josiah Simpson for the middleweight championship.
All right, Mike Jones enters in, final act of FFC 43 powered by R&R Barbecue. Jones the wiser at 35 years of age, as both heavyweights see eye to eye in this one. A massive division on the dish in favor of the Montana talent. He is 42 pounds heavier than Mike Jones. 20th pro fight for him, 5-8, resides with Roundstone. Back inside to orchestrate this one is Hoops.
Fierce fans, this is your main event. This fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the professional heavyweight division. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Now, one more time, I need everybody tuning into the pay-per-view and everybody here at the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, Utah, from the seats in the back to the table seats and all the way down to cage side. Put your hands together and make some noise! Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 5 wins and 8 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 260 pounds, fighting out of Dogs of War, Crazy Dog Jiu-Jitsu, and the streets of Busby. Hailing from Busby, Montana, representing the Northern Cheyenne Nation, Ruben Bam Roundstone. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 11 wins and 8 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 214 pounds. Fighting out of Jeremy Horn's Elite Performance MMA, hailing from Price, Utah, Mike Jones.
All right, gentlemen, pro fight, pro rules. Listen, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. I will stop the fight. Do not punch the back of the head. You guys understand? Touch gloves and back up.
Final act of Fierce FC 43 is sponsored by R&R Barbecue, the official food vendor of Fierce. Mike Jones, up 2 weight classes, former middleweight champion here in the state of Utah. Rounds out with a high kick is Ruben.
So I have to say, despite Ruben's body type, we'll say he is very athletic.
Quick as well, but Jones blitzes inside. Staggering leg kick as well for the Utah fighter.
Ooh. Yeah, looks like Jones' game plan, in and out, in and out. He's not going to get tied up against the cage and let Ruben use his weight to his advantage.
That's smart.
Already sniped a few staggering shots. Roundstone with some big wind-ups early on as well.
Well, and it's harder for Roundstone to use his weight when his back's against the cage.
Hard leg
that
kicks.
Leg kicks hurt.
He's
going right for that calf.
Smart to try to tie him up.
Jones brushes it off.
Good footwork by Jones. Turning him back into the cage.
Roundstone shells up effectively. Quick in and outs. Down once again is Roundstone. Looked like the ground and pound might have been it, but now a head and arm was available just moments ago. Mike Jones.
Jones ripped that calf kick about 3 times to get into this position. Really smart.
He's got a head and arm choke going here.
Mike Jones has recorded finishes at welterweight, middleweight, and light heavyweight. It would be 4 finishes in 4 separate weight classes if he can do so to the much larger Ruben Roundstone tonight.
Well, and I can't see a path to victory for Roundstone from this position. Jones has really solid grappling chops too.
Jones bruised up that left leg of Ruben so effectively. Just over 2 minutes to work here in the first frame. Looks like we got a finish. Mike Jones, 4 finishes, 4 weight classes, one of a kind. Von Flue choke, Roundstone likely went for something wrapped around the neck. Jones drops down his shoulder, closes in and separates. And with that, a special talent who's got his 20th professional fight in the rearview mirror and his 12th win. Eric, so impressive for a guy to say, no problem, whatever weight class you want me at, I just want to get this one in. He's got a Disneyland trip alongside his daughter and his wife in just a couple of days. Mike Jones, main event winner, first round submission.
You know, that was impressive. A fighter will fight, right?
Not a little bit more to that story after this intro and announcement by our guy Hopes.
Fierce fans, referee Tyler Tomlinson has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes and 5 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to a Von Flue choke, Mike Jones.
Come on over here, Mike. Back in the win column at a new weight class. How you feeling, man? Is this the weight class for you now?
Hey, where's all the real heavyweights at? I'm the new boogeyman. Hey, Kent, Zeke, where are you at? No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking my ass back down to middleweight. I'm just joking. That was fun, though.
So, speaking of middleweight, you saw Josiah Simpson get a big win tonight. Is that a matchup you'd like to see in the future?
I mean, if it makes sense, like his coaches are like family to me, so I don't know how that'll work out, but
Fuck it.
Hey, we'll see. Did you expect the fight to go like this? I know you had some opponents drop out. Ruben steps in, takes the fight. Did you expect it to go this way?
Yeah, no, I expected it to go a couple of rounds. I know he's tough. I don't know, I guess those calf kicks hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, they look like they hurt.
And also, since I got another submission, I think we should make Jeremy give me a purple belt now. Yeah?
He's right over there. I don't know.
Jeremy, purple belt. Look, you said yep.
Well, when are we going to see you back in the cage again?
I'm actually going to take a bare knuckle fight up in Montana in December. So after that, I'll be ready.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back in the Fierce Fighting Championship cage again. Congratulations once again on a beautiful performance, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Purple belt Mike Jones. So just to say really quickly, there was a situation where Mike Jones got his blue belt after finishing his opponent, Trent Miller, in April of 2024. Hasn't had a jiu-jitsu class since, Eric. But he told Jeremy Horn, if I submit this guy at heavyweight going up multiple weight classes, can I get my purple belt? And Jeremy Horn, being the legend that he is, says absolutely. No worries.
I think he earned it. I think he earned it.
So, Jason, I'll clue you in as well. Jason Laporte back inside the broadcast booth. Mike Jones hasn't had a jiu-jitsu class since he submitted Trent Miller in April 2024. He got his blue belt immediately after that submission victory. Again, hasn't been to a class since. Now promoted to purple belt by Jeremy Horn.
And putting on a Von Flue choke, something you don't see very often.
Yeah, very rare.
So he maintains status as one of the standards of this state. Mike Jones with the main event victory as we welcome you into the Fierce FC broadcast booth and post-fight show presented by R&R Barbecue. Blake O'Rulian, Eric Iman, Jason Laporte. Salsa dancer Eric Iman is what I was told earlier on in the
Well,
day.
I was told I'm wearing a salsa shirt, so I don't know how, but I'll give it hell. If somebody wants to come be a partner, hit me up.
Guys, an incredible night. So many special performances, specifically the one that flies off the film for me, Josiah Simpson.
Josiah Simpson looked phenomenal tonight. He just ran through a guy that is tough as nails. We haven't seen that done to Chris Chu in, I don't know
Ever.
how long.
No, ever.
He usually can withstand that. He usually ends up fighting. I mean, Josiah Simpson he gave me a lot of crap there for trying to stir up this fight with him and Mike Jones. I didn't realize there was a relationship there, so I apologize about that.
Well, you never know, but, in this climate, it's got to be a possibility.
I mean,
it's got to be.
They both looked impressive. Josiah is on the uprise. I'd love to see him back in the cage again.
Would absolutely love to see it. We've had 3 shows in 5 weekends. It has been very busy for this Fierce FC staff. So a little bit of a break, but November 14th, we are back at the Masonic Temple. Some big names. Maybe Jet Swain back on the card for that one. He wants a quick turnaround before he moves out to Thailand.
Yeah, he looked another one that looked very good tonight. There was some very impressive performances tonight.
Eric, Andy took no damage. Like he just has to get back into camp and he can fight again.
Hannah Silva back up for a title alongside a couple of other names, and Drake Anderton, the amateur heavyweight champion, should be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice card. I can't wait.
Well, it has been an incredible night live at FightCon. Let's head up to the wide shot, fellas. Massive thank you for watching Fierce FC 43. For our technical director, Moses Lemus, our graphics coordinator, Ryan Piccolo, our A1, Paul Anderson, and all of us here at Fierce Fighting Championship and Pats Media. Final time tonight. He's Eric Iman. He's Jason Laporte. I'm Blake O'Rulian saying see you on November 14th.